You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's just a little artisanal, homespun podcast where
we record from a Panera.
Yeah, exclusively. We are a Panera Bread exclusive podcast.
We're that guy sitting at the table, the biggest table with his laptop. For 8 hours.
Yeah, and 3 microphones and a mixer. It's fine. Don't worry. I paid for my $18 bagel.
That buys me at least 4 hours here.
Exactly.
And I'm going to take.
And my problem with Mario. Thank you, Chad. Is there sour cream cheese? Thank you.
We need dish Foley.
Just very, very loud vibration. Just.
This Panera kind of sucks, guys.
It's so loud in here.
Let's go to Waffle House. I'd much rather.
That's the better recording.
I'd much rather. Oh, it'd be much louder,
but more interesting.
You enjoy the food more.
Yeah.
The
Waffle House
doesn't
greater
suck.
than Panera. Yeah.
I do love Panera Bread, but fuck, is it expensive?
I like McAllister's, man. Like if I got to choose between Panera and McAllister's,
I've only been to McAllister's once.
I like it. They got like good salad. Yeah, they got a good salad. They got a good sandwich. Yeah,
They're good.
Okay.
about in that same price range though. Yeah, they do like
Well,
that. They do like their food. A little overpriced. But Panera's like crazy overpriced,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
My son used to work there.
Yeah.
And they would throw away so much shit at the end of the day.
That's why it's so expensive, maybe.
And it's like, come on. There's like $5,000 worth of fucking like scones that you're just tossing in
It's
the
a
trash.
1990 Geo Metro worth of food right there.
Good one.
Well, today on TADPOG, of course, we are going to do something a little different. Here, we do podcasts a little different around here at TADPOG.
We do things a little different. We record in Panera.
We like to think outside the box.
But not inside the Panera, right outside the Panera in the dumpster with the raccoons.
Where all the scones are.
Yeah, the $2 bagels are in there.
So the randomizer threw us a strange curveball.
It did.
In that it selected the Star Fox competition cart.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get in front of this. Nobody knows how to say the name of this game. Like experts, like whenever I did a lot of research on this stuff, and it's like some people call this game Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge, and then other people call it Star Fox Super Weekend Challenge. And it's because the label is the Star Fox logo, and then around it are Super and Weekend. And it wasn't a thing that was sold, so there's no like retail record of the name of the game. So it's just like whatever.
Right, Nintendo. We must know.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Nintendo's graphic designers.
Yeah, man, really.
Don't dead, open
1990.
inside. Well, since we are doing this competition cart, which is its own thing in and of itself, and we're going to expand on that into competition carts in general.
Yeah.
So because of that, these are older games. We had to bring on Ian because Ian said, "Hey, Tyler, I've got a couch I want to give you," and I was like, "Come and record on Monday and bring that couch." So here Ian is.
And to boot, I didn't bring the couch.
You didn't bring
It was
couch?
raining.
Because it's raining.
Yeah, it's horrible out there.
And well, it wasn't. But we were talking about. I was talking to Tanya about this earlier. If I had loaded that couch in the back of my truck, it would have started pouring down rain instantly.
Yeah.
But this couch is. 3 days I tried getting it out of my house. I don't know how we got it in.
Oh, it's a big boy?
Oh, it's a big boy. We could not get it out. And finally, we got it out the front door. And so now it's in my garage. It's probably going to smell like fuel.
That's all right.
Yeah, whatever.
I like fuel.
Fuel and maybe cigarette smoke.
I mean, it smells like garbage in here, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Not specifically right here,
Not here.
in this
it's just
area.
one small area of the gaming area.
Which is very disconcerting.
I don't know why.
It is like a 5-foot sphere, 5-foot diameter sphere of garbage smell.
It's like a sphere of invisible death.
Yeah. Doesn't feel good in there.
No. But anyway, I couldn't get it here tonight, and so now Tyler's going to end up picking it up later this week.
Yep.
But I told Tanya, I'm like, well, I can't take the couch out to Tyler's, but is it cool if I still go record? And she's like, yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad that you're here, man.
Yeah, me
I was
too.
excited for
Glad
it.
to be here. Glad to be here.
So I make no bones about it that I am a huge fan of Last Podcast on the Left.
Our last podcast on the left?
Our last podcast on the left. And I think this episode, more so than any other episode, is going to be like Last Podcast on the Left. In that on Last Podcast, Marcus Parks does generally all the research and is the backbone of the show, and then he's got two guys there for goofs.
Yeah.
So I know, Dave, you fell down a huge multi-hour rabbit hole on the research.
Yeah, but I wanted to do it.
And Ian and I are loosely connected to it, and we're mostly here for goofs.
Yeah,
Well,
I watched maybe 25 minutes worth of stuff on
Yeah.
YouTube today as part of my research, and that was it.
Well, I'm
And
glad.
that counts what we watched.
I was worried I was going to scare you off because yesterday I sent out a text message where it's like,
Here's your syllabus.
here's 4.5. It's like, look, I did 4.5 hours of research. I realize that you guys probably aren't going to do that, and that's totally cool. But in case you want to see my notes, here they are.
I looked at your notes.
So there
I
we
read
go.
through your
So it
notes.
was
I did
useful.
too.
Followed some links.
They were very good
I
notes.
thought about
you
maybe
put them
not
together
doing
very
that
well.
because I didn't want you guys to be like, "Oh fuck, this guy!" Like,
No, I was like, I'll read this and watch these videos. Like Dave asked for.
You have adequately prepared me, I think, to be here for this episode.
well, it's because I'm anxious. I'm anxious for this episode because we never really done an episode like this.
It'll be fine.
Like we're very normally we are very like this is the game we're going to talk about, and then we kind of talk about it. But this
Yep.
one's like, here are like 6 fucking games that we're going to talk about. And I don't know really that much about them
Right.
because like the documentation on these things are few and far between. And it's like something.
It's like world record speed runs before Twitch.
You're right.
Like, okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to take that guy's word for it, I
Yeah,
guess.
he said he did it.
I watched an interview, like it wasn't really an interview. It was just a guy who went to one of these competitions and he just talked about it for an hour. And I listened to it. I'm like, well, I guess I have to take his word for it because no one else is saying anything different.
Oh, speaking of Twitch, remind me when we get to the part where we're talking about the Universal Studios Kids Challenge thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
you want to talk about it now?
remind me about Twitch. Remind me about Twitch.
Siri said reminder.
No, don't. She's very temperamental. So you're Tyler.
Yep.
We got
I'm Weird
Ian.
Host Tyler.
I'm Dave. We do have a package.
Yeah, let's do that package first.
but
let's do some other. Let's do multiple things first before we do this
Yeah.
Yeah.
deep dive.
But maybe the thing you were going to do is say what we normally do on this show.
What we
Yeah?
normally do is
playing
we
through all them
created a
games.
dark, twisted god called the Randomizer.
Yeah.
And the Randomizer looks through Wikipedia's list of Super Nintendo games and randomly pulls one out and makes us play it. And this week it's just like, what are you going to do about this?
Yeah, let's make them make a decision.
And normally if we get a game that's part of a series and they're all very similar, like a sports game, we'll do all of them at once.
Right.
So when Randomizer pulled this one, you were like, hey, there's also a Donkey Kong competition card
Right.
that's listed on here. So let's just do competition cards. Okay. How about yeah?
All right. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
At the very best. Or at the very worst, it'll be fine.
Yeah, at the very
At
worst.
the very best, it'll be like, oh, that was fine.
It was pretty good. That was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It's pretty good.
We do have a package here that came in from one Michelle and Janie. So I guess 2.
I'm sorry, I'm just reminded of that one 5-star iTunes review a long time ago where it was like at least one. I'm glad one of them knows about video games, and you and I both were like, "Who do you think he's talking about?" I think he's talking about you. I think he's
don't
talking about you.
Yeah, we literally had an argument where it's like, no, I'm pretty sure
remember
You know more.
You know more. I'm pretty sure. It depends on what episode they listen to. Like if they tuned into like Earthbound or something,
Yeah.
they're like, I don't know what this Dave guy is.
But if they
fucking
tuned into any other episode, it's Dave.
Maybe The Legend of Zelda.
A Zelda episode, Punch Out, Earthbound.
Well, I was referring to the episode where you got drunk and talked about eating ass.
Oh yeah.
A very good episode. If you have not listened to The
Legend of Zelda for the NES
with Brandon Hawkins, like that is wow.
My friend I hadn't seen in like 15 years. What you got in that package?
I have a thing that is maybe not intended for us.
Well, it's from Jenny and Michelle, so you never know.
No, it's not for me.
Maybe it's not intended for us. I don't. No. Oh, nope, it's not. All right, gotta go ahead and put that back. So never mind. We don't have a package.
Who's that for? Is it for Nicole?
I say who it's for, but it's not for us. I'm just gonna bring this to lunch with me tomorrow when I see Nicole.
It does clearly have her name written on it.
Oops.
It doesn't say TADPOG, care of Nicole Nance, just Nicole Nance.
Oops. So don't have a package. It's off to a great start.
Well, I've got something.
There's your chlamydia medicine, Nicole,
It's like David.
that Jenny and Michelle made for you. Special artisanal home-crafted chlamydia cream.
Also, I am.
Because Josh gave you chlamydia, allegedly. No, it's not.
After we're done, you've got to tell me what that is.
No, it's. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, it's
I
very
can't tell
personal.
you. I really can't tell you.
It's definitely not chlamydia medicine.
It's a suicide kit.
It's certainly not. Sorry about that.
That is so funny.
What do you have, Ian? You got a thing?
I made up because I didn't know if we were going to have a lot to talk about given the subject matter today. And I know you guys like answering questions,
We do.
so I made a little questionnaire.
Is this a which friends character are you quiz?
No.
right.
This is just random questions I came up that I thought would be interesting for you and us to answer.
Can we give you 10 minutes and you make a what, friends?
Or
No, because I don't know enough about friends to be able to
how
do
about
that.
this? We give you 20 minutes and you can make a what incarnation of George Carlin are you? Are you George Carlin from Thomas the Tank Engine? Are you stand-up George Carlin? Are you George Carlin from Dogma?
Are you George Carlin from that scene where he's the truck driver who gives a blowjob in what movie was that? Was that Dogma? No, he was was he both? I don't remember.
That was a Kevin Smith movie, I believe. But
I think it was.
Jay
I
and
don't remember
Silent
which one.
Bob
Jay and
Strikes
Silent Bob
Back.
Strike Back?
I
Probably.
think
There
it
you go.
was, but I'm not positive.
You've already written the quiz.
I do give blowjobs to truckers, so I guess that's me.
That's the question. Question number one. Do you give
you give-
blowjobs to truckers?
Here's my CDL license, motherfucker.
Top 10 podcasters who
Get-
give blowjobs to truckers.
Get to sucking.
BuzzFeed will have that out there tomorrow.
I demand my BuzzFeed money. Fuck, I need it.
Right? No, it's just some random questions I thought of today. That
Awesome,
I'd
I
like
love
to
it.
ask
Yeah.
you guys, and we could
All
all
right.
answer if you're
Cool.
Okay.
If you're
Yeah.
interested in hearing my answers as well. I'll answer
Of course,
too,
of course.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
There's no title for this quiz. That's the title.
Is the first question, who's that package for?
What was the second question? Is what was in
the
that package?
Chlamydia medicine, okay?
Any-
You happy now?
In high school, any essay that I couldn't think of a title for, I just called Melba Toast.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
You titled it
I
Melba Toast?
would always just call it Melba Toast.
All right.
All right. Well, this is the. It's not even a quiz. It's just questions. The questions are Melba Toast. First question, and if you some of these I don't know if you have an answer or know the answer, whatever. There's no penalties.
There are no wrong
points,
answers
No wrong
here?
answers. No points.
This is like art.
Yeah. Well, I have a degree in it, so
Me too. I'm sorry.
you know,
It's working out great for us, isn't it?
I've never earned even a single dollar as a graphic designer. Not
Me
one.
neither. Me neither.
Just donate your time.
Just working for exposure for the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
12 years. Yeah.
Yep, I get it. All right, first question. You can figure out who wants to answer first. What was your name going to be if you had been born a female in this case, a different gender?
Mine's super easy.
Yeah.
Dana, because that's what my sister's name is. So my
okay.
parents took the route of, hey, we already got a girl name. 13 years later, got a girl. Your name is Dana.
Okay.
Sarah.
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 Okay.
Yep.
All right.
There is a Sarah and your last name who lives in our town.
Yep, she's awful.
Mine was going to be Rachel.
Rachel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What was your first word?
Bird. I was raised by birds. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Your first word was
Yeah. My parents adopted me from the aviary at the age of 2.
They just found me in this tree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume Mama because I don't remember anything else. And that nothing else comes to mind.
Okay.
Ian?
Truck.
Truck.
Yeah.
All right.
Kenna's was no.
Henry's was moon. When I told Cockmaster Ashley Shake that, he's like, "Do you think he'll be an astronaut?" It's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he will.
Or
Moon, that's
he's
weird.
Or he's a lunarian. I don't know. One of the two.
Maybe he'll bring us the gift of Meteo. I don't know.
I can't remember Cohen's first word, my grandson's first word. I think he might have been, it might have been Grams, just because he's with my wife literally every day. So it's probably Grams.
That makes sense.
Took him a while to get Pappy.
She's Grams and you're Pappy.
I'm Pappy, yeah. All right. Did you ever run away from home? And if the answer is yes, what did you take with you? That is a 2-part question, but not 2 questions.
I never ran away from home, although I definitely thought about it for really stupid reasons when I was 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I always thought about it. And I think the most I ever did was in this house in the 3rd grade. And I think I ran as far as the tree line back here that you can see.
And you remember, that's pretty far.
Good distance.
That's pretty far.
And then I also remember seeing an episode of Muppet Babies where Gonzo went to run away from all his friends, and he hid in the closet and sang a song and pretended he was on Mars
Right.
far, far
I
away.
remember that one.
Yeah. So I hid in
Watchmen
my closet.
fucking took that shit.
There
Watchmen
you
took
go.
that shit.
Yeah, they lift a lot of shit. Dr. Van Ant lifts a
They
lot of shit
lifted
from
a lot of
Gonzo.
shit from Muppet Babies.
I remember I hid in my closet and sang a song sort of like that about nobody liking me and wanting to run away.
Yeah.
Until I got bored of being in my closet and I just came out.
Instead of running away, I think I just laid on the floor and cried and played with that doorstop spring thing.
Yeah.
What was it about those? I did that too.
Henry
for
does
hours,
it. It's just like a
hours.
fucking thing. I don't
It's
know.
like a metal penis that makes a noise.
Yeah.
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 It's what we're
There
all
you go.
looking for in our lives.
Really, it is. If only mine would get hard like this one. I don't
Man.
understand.
Why can't mine make that noise?
Mine hurts when I bend it one way.
I also ran away about that same age, about 3rd grade, age 7 or whatever.
What did you take with you?
Well, I only got as far as the back patio of the duplex we lived in, but I managed to get every single Star Wars toy I ever owned onto the table on the back patio. And there was an X-Wing and a Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yeah, you gotta
involved,
get
and a
that's-
TIE Fighter. I had them all, and I was certainly going to run away.
Is that why you
didn't know
didn't
how I was going to get all that shit?
I'm about to say, is
off
that
the
why you
patio?
didn't get very far? You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
this is a lot of work. I'll just stay here.
I didn't even remember what caused
Maybe it's
me
not
to-
so bad if I have more toys that I can carry. Maybe I should run away.
I don't know what brought it on, but I do remember my mother being very understanding. Like, she knew that whatever the hell had made me mad, it was probably my first brush with real, honest to God anger, and all I knew to do was get out of here. I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore, you know. But she ended up being really cool. She was very understanding about stuff in a way that my dad never did manage. So, you know, I was lucky in the sense. I didn't get in trouble. It was more of a funny story later. But she took me seriously, and it was, you know, okay, all right, I get it. You're really angry.
What are your terms?
What are your terms? Let's talk. So, you know, it was. I very distinctly remember that. We lived in a apartment complex of duplexes. Mm-hmm. Just about 12 or 13 duplexes. I think it might have been in Reedland or something. I can't remember exactly where that was, but that was a weird place. A lot of really mean kids lived there. And of course, I was the fucking youngest around, and I was always the fodder, you know, getting picked on a lot.
Yeah.
And that probably didn't help with my
No, probably not.
mentality of I got to get out of here. But, you know, it was okay. I managed. I survived. All right, next question.
Let's go find those kids now and beat them
fucking
up.
Beat their
would.
fucking
I
asses.
would. They were mean. I learned the word pussy from them
Well, they gave you that gift.
because they said, "Have you ever seen your mom's pussy?" to me. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, like, what?
God, that's the worst. I hate that
And
shit.
yeah,
I hate that shit.
yeah. I eventually learned it, and this was not. I don't think they ever explained it to me because they were mean.
I want to call one of those guys and be like, no, I didn't see my mother's pussy.
The joke store called. 40 years later. I finally get hello, Bill.
I know what that means.
I just learned what that means, and no. Okay, next question. I'm getting out of the childhood questions now.
Okay.
The most obscure shows that you watch. Well, this is kind of a childhood question, I guess. The most obscure show or shows that you watched growing up that nobody's ever heard of.
Ooh, man, that's tough now.
It is.
Because, like, when I was growing up, I don't think anybody was like, I mean, I had friends, we would watch like Red Dwarf and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty obscure for us. Also, what was the name of that? Was it Incredible Wonders, that fucking late night infomercial? Like, man, you can clean your car with this thing. Amazing. Like, what? It was something like that.
ShamWow or the
Amazing Inventions, or
I mean, it was something like that. I wish I could remember what it was, but I fucking loved that shit. Where
right.
it was just like one, it was like almost like a comedy routine, but it wasn't. Because there was one like the straight man, and then the wacky dude who's like, I can clean anything. And then shenanigans ensue. It was way better than I'm pitching, I promise.
Maybe that's
I don't
why
know, it
nobody's
sounds
heard of
pretty
it.
good.
Sounds
Yeah.
pretty fucking good. What
And
about-
there's an Australian guy on there, and I'm pretty sure he saw his
Oh,
mom's
Jesus.
pussy. So
that's called
Probably.
the Noozles.
I know.
yeah, there's also
I
that.
actually think I know what you're talking about, and I can't think of the name of it either. But I think I know what you're talking about. Are you? Is it?
We'll look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up now. We'll also look up old HBO movie of the week intros.
Oh yeah.
Talked about that last time.
time.
What about you, Tyler?
I remember when you first turn on my street. There's a white house down there that is very, very old. My parents rented it before this house. Generally, we always had cable growing up. We didn't when we were in that house. So I had to watch a lot of KET and PBS.
Snuff movies.
And
And the snuff films I found
under the house. Yeah,
Under the floorboards.
we've all been there.
You know, old house snuff.
Yeah, old house
Creek
snuff. It's
porn and old house snuff.
got a leaky roof, snuff films, plumbing problems. It's part of it. Yeah.
Wait, you didn't disclose this at closing.
I'm sorry, there are no snuff films under this house. We can't buy it.
And remember, there was a live action cartoon about a bee who couldn't fly, didn't know how to fly. So he always walked along the ground between the flowers until he would find like flowers that had fallen over, and then he would get the pollen and whatnot, and then walk back. And all the other bees gave him a ton of shit about it.
They asked him if he's seen his mom's pussy.
Have you seen your mom's pussy?
your mom's
Have you
pussy?
seen our mom's pussy?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm out of here. I'm going to run away and get all my Star Wars shit and leave.
And one day, all the bees were out very far from the hive, and it rained, and none of them could fly. So they had to rely
Their
on
wings got wet,
this
yeah.
bee they always gave shit to maneuver them all back through the ground because he knew where he was going.
So it's Rudolph. It's a
Rudolph.
Rudolph
It's
story.
a Rudolph story,
yeah.
and no one else has ever seen that but me.
What about Dot? Have you ever seen Dot, which is like this Australian cartoon that was like overlaid on like live action footage?
No.
You talking
No.
about the bees made me think of Dot, because there's this whole like Dot, and like she shrinks, and then she like goes on this adventure where it's all these like live action insects, and there's like roaches in her house that are like red-eyed and singing to her about murder, probably. Ian, obscure show.
Yes, I had an unhealthy obsession with ninjas when I was younger.
There's nothing unhealthy about that, man.
Well, I mean, at the time, it wasn't as kind of accepted. I mean, this would have been
Were you ahead of the curve?
mid-'80s.
Oh yeah, you were definitely ahead of the curve. Like, was it before the Ninja Turtles craze?
It was right before Ninja Turtles started to become a thing, but we were into, like, me and my friend John, not John Turley, the other John that I think I mentioned on the last episode, actually. He and I were really close. We lived close together, so we were best buds, and we were into ninjas, and we made nunchucks, and we bought throwing stars.
Out of broomsticks, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, broomsticks, and I even made one once with some pipe that I filled with ball bearings.
Oh god,
So that
a true murder weapon.
it was actually. It was more of an escape route, though. Like if someone was chasing me, I could empty the ball
Empty it
bearings
out.
and they'd slip
Nice.
and fall. Like I'm thinking in terms of like Kevin McAllister before Kevin McAllister.
That's like Goonies style.
Yeah. And the Goonies guy, the Data, yeah,
Uh-huh.
he was a big inspiration too. But anyway, there was a show that came on. I was all about network television. We had cable, but I love watching network television unless it was in the afternoons, and then I would watch all the like Space Ghost and the Thundar and the Barbarians and all these cartoons that USA used to show all the time. But the show we liked to watch, it was only on for like one season. It was called The Master, and it had Lee Van Cleef.
Whoa. I love Lee Van Cleef.
Yes.
What was he doing on it?
He was the ninja.
He was a ninja?
He was a ninja. I shit you not.
Not
And he
not a badass cowboy?
No, he was not. And
I need to look this up.
yes, when we get done, I want to play you the theme song. Can I? I can't do that, can I? I can't like play the theme song to The Master on my phone, can I?
I mean,
On
if
the
you want to,
recording.
let's just patch it through the board. Are
Okay.
you worried about like copyright or something?
Yeah.
We might get flagged for that.
I'll play it. Look up The Master.
All right.
And I'll play you the theme after we get
Okay.
off the mics or whatever. Because
Okay.
the theme song was what hooked me.
Okay.
I mean, it's like this sort of halfway disco. I mean, it was really cool. And it was just about this old dude who was a ninja. And you know, Lee Van Cleef, by that point, was an old dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
And he
He was
looked a little
not super
he was a
young
super
then, I
young
don't
man.
think, yeah.
So flash forward, 30 years, and the dude's a ninja. And he had this protege who was like this mullet wearing guy who was training.
God,
It was,
yes.
and they went on and solving mysteries and adventures and stuff. It was, and he was like in urban. It was like in L.A. It took place in like the city.
All right. Okay, I'm in.
It's terrible, but I watched
on
that
Hulu?
show. Maybe I watched that show fucking religiously, and I went back and watched a scene from it the other day
Yeah.
on YouTube.
It's real bad.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to watch it just so I can laugh.
Does Lee Van Cleef like do stunts and stuff, or
Kind of. I mean, maybe a lot of wide shots with a
Great.
guy that might be the same build as
Yeah,
Lee Van Cleef,
okay, I
kind of
gotcha.
like Captain Kirk, when
Yeah.
occasionally it's like, who is that guy fighting? It was Captain Kirk 10 seconds ago. Yeah, The Master.
Okay.
That was my
All right.
my show. I watched so many shows, like all the Simon and Simon and Riptide and A-Team.
I
and
only know Simon and Simon through Adult Swim,
Yeah.
like through like what Cartoon Network
Yeah.
did with the parody.
Great show, actually. But that's kind of all I really had to watch. So, all right.
Have
Next,
you guys ever seen Candle Cove?
I've heard of Candle Code.
I've
It
not ever
sounds
heard of
familiar,
that.
but
It was like a kid's show in the 80s that was like, it was about pirates.
never heard of that.
I mean, it didn't have a long run. I barely remember.
Lafitte and crew.
Lafitte and crew.
Lafitte babies.
It was like, I remember just being very weird of pirates, puppet pirates in Candle Cove.
Are you bringing up pirates because of ninjas? Do you guys remember when that was a thing?
Oh God, Ninjas versus
Ninjas
Pirates.
versus Pirates?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh my God! I just thought of another one. Voyagers. Did you ever see that one
Voyagers.
with an exclamation point?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Voyagers.
Yeah. Voyagers. Hey, Mom. Voyagers,
Voyagers is on.
Let's watch. It was about
Did you guys
time
see
travel.
the last
They had a
episode
little.
of Voyagers?
They had a little thing that looked like a pocket watch that they used to travel through time.
No, I don't know that one.
Okay, look that up too, because it was
Ghost
pretty bad.
Rider. Remember Ghost Rider?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure we all
I
remember
do.
that one. Did we all miss Arthur here, or Tyler? Were you of age for Arthur?
I barely remember Arthur.
Because I aged out of Arthur, so I assume that Ian
I
you
definitely
probably
did. I think Gage was into Arthur.
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah, I think my sister was too. Actually.
Okay, next question.
All right.
Unless you want to keep talking.
I'm good.
Are we
Okay.
we doing good so far? We've each got 100%.
Yeah, you answered correctly.
I like these.
This one is this question is a one-word answer only.
Okay.
Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth?
David Lee Roth. I'm sorry.
Roth.
Shrug.
Okay. Because I thought maybe that might be a you don't know type
I don't
thing.
know.
Because California Girls, like I've got such an old memory. Like I remember. Yeah, dude.
Who wrote the play that MacTac they're wanting to do the read through of it? Was that David Lee Roth that wrote that?
It was about David Lee Roth. I don't know. I think
Okay.
I don't know if he wrote it.
Because I think he wrote it to star in it.
But then it was definitely David Lee
David
Roth.
Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that show? It was that animated show with the band Death Clock.
Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
I've always believed that the clown cocaine was David Lee Roth. Like it was an absolute parody of David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Only as a clown, or
I think that might be pretty good.
Well, the answer to the question, Tyler, is David Lee Roth.
Okay.
And I was thinking maybe you would just say Roth, which is why I said it's a one-word answer, but that's okay.
Sorry, I failed
And I got
that
nothing
one.
against Sammy Hagar, really, but not as Van Halen was David Lee Roth for me.
It had nothing to do with, for me, the answer had nothing to do with Van Halen. It had everything to do with California Girls.
Yeah.
I remember watching that video with my
Oh,
dad.
God, what a video.
Yeah, man.
What a
And-
great video to watch with your dad.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's a bonding
it was a
moment right
bonding.
there.
It was definitely a bonding moment.
Is that the guy who Chris Kattan always was in SNL going bibbity bop?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bop. Boozy,
Dave
boozy, bop.
TV.
Diddy bop. Okay. Next question. By the way, 1984 is literally in my top 3 greatest albums of all time.
Okay.
That's just for the record.
It's a great year.
It was such a good year.
It's an amazing
my
year.
favorite year, but it's also
Great commercial too.
and
I was born in that year.
it was an amazing album. So you were born under the sign of Van Halen's best album, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
People always tell me that.
I get that a lot.
That's your horoscope when you look at the paper.
You look like a Heather. You get that a lot. Okay. Your favorite accent, like spoken accent, like Italian
To do or to hear?
to hear.
To get like horny or just regular?
What accent do you listen to get regular?
Or it's like,
Man, I'm fucking horny.
Sorry.
Fucking Jamaican, so I get regular.
Oh wait, no, Jamaican. That means I'm hearing it. I'm regular. I've got to go to the bathroom.
y'all, I can't watch Cool Runnings without busting at least 3 nuts. Sorry. I have to like focus on John Candy's Canadian speech to like bring me down.
That's a good center. It's a good center.
Yeah.
I've heard. So, what's your favorite?
John Candy's my
Just
constant.
the favorite one you like to hear, and I don't guess it matters if it's for horniness or whatever. I never really thought about it. Like
I mean,
that.
but right? I mean,
But yeah, I guess.
favorite one to hear. I don't know. There's so many good ones.
There are. That's why I
British
asked
is
the
good.
question.
Japanese is good.
Japanese
for
is
horny.
good. Yeah, I get that.
So probably one of those two.
Is it English to hear and to do? I like talking like Lafitte, so it's kind of a Southern Frenchish,
Yeah.
Cajuanish.
Oh, what about English, like a particular dialect of English that you prefer over another? Do you like that Southern
Ross,
raw?
Rachel Green.
Oh,
kinda
you mean like
English.
British?
So UK, British
British,
Isles.
yeah. The
Ross's accent.
the Queen's English.
Ross's accent is fantastic.
Yeah,
I love listening to that. dude
Ross
talk.
and Sam, having both of them on. Yeah,
Yeah, for real. Mine are I like Russian,
Okay.
Russian accent, and Scottish.
Okay.
I don't know why.
All right.
Scottish
yeah,
is good.
Scottish is good.
Scottish being my family heritage type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I just like the sound of it. I wish I could do either effectively.
Try.
I was listening. I was on a phone call. I had to call tech support for something for one of our clients.
Yeah. And you were like,
For the first time ever, the guy that answered the phone was legit Russian. His name was Boris, for God's sake. And he had accent like you might expect. It seemed so fake, but it was not. It was legitimate.
how did you make him prove it? Were you like, hey, prove
I
you're
could
Russian?
Just tell.
Yeah.
Just because. And it was so cool because dude was also the friendliest
Yeah.
tech guy I've ever talked to, like a big support, one of those places where there's probably 5,000 people in
Right.
a room answering calls for
At least
17
400
different-
Borises. Yeah.
Yeah.
the restaurant. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Boris was cool, and I liked his accent a whole lot. I didn't tell him that, though, because
Josh has a good
been
Russian
weird.
accent too.
Josh?
Nance. Yeah. His character in Dave's Epic Six game, the
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Russian alchemist.
Yeah, that's true. Who fell down a well and almost died.
The
He's
big
good accent.
midnight restaurant in Murray was Log Cabin. Log Cabin was owned by
Oh, yeah, I know
quote
Log
unquote
Cabin.
Irish
An
people.
Irish dude, yeah.
and his wife, both Irish. And then I thought this my whole college career until I found out no, they were just faking it for funsies.
Yeah, I thought that until 2 years ago
Yeah.
when you told me that.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, are you sure though?
Okay, moving on. I've only got 4 more questions. What is your favorite non-pornographic subreddit?
Do those exist anymore?
Right, I know. It's hard.
Hold My Cosmo, I just found.
That is
and
a
I like
good
that one a lot.
That is a good one.
What's that about?
It is typically drunk women doing drunk women things.
not naked things. Usually,
Usually not.
Sometimes a skirt will fly up or a
Technically-
boob will fall out or something.
Yeah, it's blurring the line between a regular
Yeah.
subreddit and a
But it'd be like
NSFW.
getting drunk and then like going to spit pure grain alcohol over a birthday cake and catching her hair on fire or something.
Right.
you know?
Okay.
Right, yeah.
All right. I love Ask Reddit. I can look at Ask Reddit all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love Ask Reddit.
There's also an After Dark version, which is not non-pornographic, but Ask Reddit After Dark if you ever want to.
Okay.
There's some
I'm
good.
down.
There's some good ones in there.
I also like the SNES subreddit. I spend probably most of my non-NSFW browsing time there or Hold My
Butt
Cosmo.
pasta. Butt pasta is pretty good stuff.
Man, I haven't been to Butt Pasta in a long time.
Yeah, you should go. Check it out.
Okay, I don't know that one.
There's a whole Hold My series, like Hold My Fries.
Hold My Red Bull.
Yes, Hold My Red Bull's a really good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Hold My's are pretty good.
Yeah.
Mine, I've just discovered one called Chinesium.
What's that?
It's just basically a
Shitty
subreddit
products,
where they
yeah.
have products that are broken.
Oh, okay.
They like went to do the thing the product was intended to do, and it just completely detonated or whatever. You know.
All right. Awesome.
It hasn't been updated in a while though, so
Bummer.
it
What is
sucks.
it?
But it's
The
got
last
a lot
time
of content.
I went there, I watched where a guy bought these Chinese clothespins, and it showed him taking each one out of the box, and when he compressed it, it would just shatter. And he did that for like, it was 20 of them, and 19 of them broke.
Yeah.
Was he really
immediately.
strong?
He was just really like, that's how what? All right. What about just, yep, okay. All right, well, let's just keep going then. Yep, all right.
There's like a lot of them too. Like you'll see people that have wrenches that have the English words printed on the wrench, like heavy duty, spelled wrong.
Gotcha.
Or there was one that was like an inflatable football that said "Made in Cheyenne." Just funny stuff like that. Also, a big fan of Ate the Onion. I don't know if you've
No,
seen
what's Ate the Onion?
It's where it's basically screen caps of people reacting to Onion articles like they were legitimate, like
That's
real.
good.
okay.
That's good.
It's a good one. So ATE, Ate the Onion. I like the Lego subreddit.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff there. Just people building cool stuff, and they look at. Oh, you can see old Legos and stuff. You know.
Cool.
And then I don't know if I've mentioned this one. ATBGE.
Awful taste, but great execution.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
that's
Get
a
on
good
that one. That's a bad one. I mean, it's great, but the stuff in there is like that can't be real, but
Yeah.
it
Yep.
absolutely is.
No,
so
it's very good.
those are some good ones. All right. This is also a very short answer question.
Space dicks. Sorry.
That is the correct answer. How did you do that?
I don't know about space dicks or clop in forever.
Who shot first?
Mr. Burns.
No.
Greedo.
No.
Han shot first.
Oh, John first. That's just a
But I'm pretty sure the one I saw that it was Greedo that shot
the
first.
one you saw.
And the one
it
you saw,
was.
and the one you saw, he did. Yeah.
The argument has always been Han shot first. They edited that shit later. Okay.
But Lucas intended for Greedo to shoot first. Ian, remember he told us that. So
I think he's full of shit.
yeah, of course he is.
I think he's lying and covering it.
It's so much better if Han shoots first because then he has an actual
Maggie.
like character arc. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maggie did it.
It was Maggie the whole time. She was under the table.
Yeah,
They should work that in.
they could now. They're all owned by the same
Burns is
corporation.
shoot. Burns is shoot. All right. Next question. Can you play a musical instrument? And
How-
if so, what?
Technically, yeah, I guess not well.
What?
The saxophone.
Okay.
No, not remotely.
No musical instrument.
No, nuh-uh.
Okay.
I used to be able to play the guitar when I was very young, but I have since forgotten every bit of it.
Okay. I play bass.
I remember being at Apex, hearing you play the "Kids in the Hall" bass line by Shadowy Men on a Shadowy
Oh
Planet.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
That's
being like,
crazy.
I'm glad this guy's my boss.
We recorded my first band in high school that we ended up recording an album 10 years later. Our band's called The Playful Eight.
Yeah.
We recorded an album in the other half of the Apex Internet building. Do you hear that?
Oh yeah, it's raining real hard.
It's rain. Okay. I don't know what that was. And then
It's our inevitable death. That we found that garbage smell.
It's the mist. It's coming out.
we'll be all right. We'll be fine. We recorded that there, and then I didn't play again for about, it was a little while. And then I was recently in another band. This was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. We actually opened for Filter.
Really?
Yeah, Filter came to Paducah and played a concert, and we were one of the bands that got chosen to open
Wow.
for them.
Where did they play? Was it like Maiden
It was the
Alley,
Civic
or-
Center over by my house.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I've got an actual demo. We actually recorded a demo that was going to be our album. It just never got fully mixed. It was fine. It sounds good. Maybe I'll give it to you.
I think I have that.
Oh.
Well, maybe I'm not supposed to say that.
No,
but
you can.
I think you gave
no,
that to
no,
me.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I was going to say put it up on Patreon if they want to. If the listeners want to hear me play bass ever, that's fine.
Oh, yeah?
Or I'll just
Okay.
maybe I'll get a Dropbox or something and link it to the nation on Facebook.
Fuck yeah.
I started as a drummer. I don't know if you knew this.
No, I didn't know that.
My drum teacher told me I needed to pick up another instrument.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, man, I hate to say this, but I don't think you're gonna get it.
Your drum instructor was like, "Who shot first?" And you were like, "Han." He was like,
Like,
"The
get
fuck,
out of my office. He said, you're trying really hard and you're doing the work, but I don't think drumming is your thing. You've got good rhythm. It's just I always had trouble working the bass drum separately than what my hands were doing.
It's like rubbing your belly, patting your head kind
I'm
of thing.
very
Yeah.
coordinated, but for some reason I just could never get that right. And then I started playing bass, and that was that. So anyway, all right. The last question.
Okay, for all the points.
Tell me something that you lost, and this is a thing, not like
Virginity.
not virginity.
Okay.
A thing, something that you lost and you can never get back. And I don't mean virginity type things. I mean like
Like
for
a
me,
physical object.
Yes, a physical object that you lost and you can never get back again, but you still remember it because it was something very important to you.
The only thing I can think of, because you just asked if I could play a musical instrument, the only thing I can think of, and I know I've talked about this on the show before, and I severely regret this still. I had a really nice tenor saxophone, a Selmer Paris tenor sax, and I sold it to Allen Music to buy like 5 D&D books, which are now I could buy on eBay for like $15.
Right.
Yeah. Don't tell my parents about that one.
Okay.
Because then they ask, like, when your sister was playing, where's that saxophone? I don't know.
Oh yeah, she didn't play it, but they were like thinking about like when she was thinking about playing something. I was like, "Yep, don't have that anymore."
Oh, gee, I don't know. I'm sorry, man. It's been a long time. I'll look.
No, I told him
I'm still looking.
I told him I sold it, but I did not tell them that I bought fucking worthless Dungeons and Dragons books with it. Don't worry, I got Sword and Fist.
I'll use this for the rest of my life.
At what point did you realize?
Like 2 weeks later.
Yeah. It was soon, wasn't it? I was gonna say it had to have been like immediately. I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah, no, it was very, very soon. Yeah.
Okay, Tyler.
Sword of Fist is a pretty good book.
Yeah, Sword and Fist was pretty good.
Pretty good.
But, yeah.
It's pretty good. Oh, man. See, that's hard. Something... You go ahead. Let me think some more.
Okay, my first car that I ever bought with my own money, like it was my car, I wasn't sharing my mom's car. It was right after high school. I bought a 1981 Toyota Corolla for like $900. And I had, when Tanya and I got together, which was not long after high school, obviously, when I moved out of my parents' house, we moved into a little efficiency apartment down here at the Ritz.
Okay, yeah.
You know the Ritz, right? We
Yeah.
lived in one of those.
Okay.
We were moving and stuff, and my comic collection was in the back of my Toyota. And we were getting ready to go to move again. I left it in the trunk, and we were getting ready to move to Lexington. And I went to get stuff out of the trunk, and I saw it was in a duffel bag. And I unzipped the duffel bag, and I'm like, oh, honey, here are my comics. I've been looking everywhere for these, because it was under a bunch of stuff. Went to pick up the comics, and they literally turned to dust in my hand.
Oh my fucking
They
god.
dry rotted in the back of that trunk.
Oh, my
And
God.
Even the ones that were in the bag somehow
Oh, my
were just
God.
ruined. I had all the issues of G.I. Joe and the Transformers up to like issue 50. I had a bunch of really good Spider-Mans. I had a bunch of just all my comics in this bag, and they looked fine. And then I went to pick it up, and they evaporated. Just it was like Thanos snapped his fingers.
I don't
and
feel so good, Mr. Stark.
they blew away in the wind. And that to this day, I still think about how much I miss those.
Man, you talking about that makes me really miss. In high school, I used to play. You might remember this. I don't know because I know you're into Star Wars. But like this, do you remember the Star Wars collectible card
I
game?
still have all my cards.
Oh my god! I wish I had mine still. And it's like I'll go like. No doubt, like 3 a.m, I'll be Baja blasted, and it's like I'm gonna go on eBay and buy a whole bunch of these.
Don't.
And
I've
then
got a
don't.
bunch you can have. I'm serious. I have them.
Fuck that. Let's just play.
in a binder.
Awesome.
Like I've got like a set of rares and stuff. I want you to look at them.
Oh, yeah, I want to see them.
And then I've got a box of just all my extras. It's literally like this long. And,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I still got those.
It's like you're speaking Japanese with a Japanese accent right now.
Right? Getting a little bothered, are you?
Feeling the blood flow.
Thought I'd bring that to you.
Man.
Next time I will bring those so you can look at them.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I did not know anybody but me and Bob.
Oh, man.
Had any idea what those things were.
Dude, we played the shit out of those, and it's like, that is how I know. So, like, the bit characters in Star Wars, they had a fucking card for everybody.
Me too, dude.
I used to be able to name
amazing.
every member of Max Rebo's band because of those fucking cards.
Yes. Oh, you're going to love these.
All right.
I'm gonna
Fuck,
bring
I
them.
can't wait, dude.
I'm going to bring them to you.
It was so cool because it was like kind of like Magic the Gathering, but you had like different stages where you'd have like a space battle that was happening that was kind of independent of like what was going on planet side. So you had these things going on, which was really neat.
And I never was very good at the game, but I loved collecting the cards.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I was a full-blown adult when I was buying them too. I mean,
no, look, I get it. Like I said, I've almost bought them on eBay at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to bring them to you.
I can't
That's
wait
awesome.
to see them, man.
All right. Have you come up with anything yet?
All right, so let me give you 3 different instances. One of something that is lost that I felt guilt about.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Spaghetti.
I felt guilt. I felt guilt about it in the moment back then. I was very callous about it, and then now, like, I don't feel so much guilt because she was terrible. But I remember my high school girlfriend. She gave me her 8th grade class ring. So I gave her my 8th grade class ring she wore, and then she gave me hers. Which
You guys had 8th grade class rings?
Yeah.
Good Lord, man.
And I had hers on a necklace around my neck. And at some point in the day, somehow, somewhere, necklace broke, ring is gone, and she was very, very upset. And I was
I
just
get
like,
it. But shit happens, though, right?
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, shit happens.
Shouldn't have let me have it.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It was a fucking risk you
so
took.
I felt bad.
Yeah.
Even now, just like, oh, well, sucks for her. She's a fucking bitch, though. But, all right. Something that, like, something
You should have been like, fuck you, you have a ring still. You got mine. I
you
got
have
nothing.
Don't fucking lose that, though.
I got fucking nothing.
Can I get my
parents
ring
paid-
back? I lost yours.
Yeah, my parents paid $200. I got nothing to show for it except for you bitching at me.
Speaking of class rings, real quick, I've actually lost mine from high school. I can't find it.
I don't know where mine
I'm not
is.
sure where mine is. I think my mom has mine, but I'm not sure.
My dad is in the jewelry industry.
Right.
Mine was gold. And I don't know where it is.
man.
And it had a real peridot in it.
Oh, shit.
I didn't. That's my birthstone for August. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I'm so upset.
Yeah, that's.
But I'm kind of glad I don't know where it is because maybe I'd sell it.
Yeah. No, that's why I would want to know where it is.
I thought you said it was gold because, like, hell yeah, man, I sell that shit
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, like if I knew where my class ring was, it would be sold.
Well,
I'd buy D&D books, probably.
and it's actually got a real gemstone in it. So the gemstone's probably worth something too. But I've been looking for that stupid thing everywhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it did with it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
mine was silver with a ruby in it and then a diamond in the middle of the ruby.
Whoa.
And I had, I'm sure it was fake. It was some Balfour bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I had
Paste.
I had the theater masks on one side and some kind of side shit on the other side.
I had
Mine
like
was
a-
an art palette and a tornado.
Yeah. We went to the same high school.
Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember mine had like some kind of like holographic fucking Captain Planet like saxophone on the fucking thing where it's like they put it inside the stone.
Whoa.
My high school girlfriend's class ring had it was green and had a husky in it, like the 3D husky because her dog was a husky.
Yeah.
So-
Mine was also green and like that's not my school colors. And like I remember like people I remember even my
What is
parents
it? It's Mako energy. It's magicite.
my parents even be like, why do you want a green
Materia.
one? And I'm like, I like green. And they're like, okay.
Because green's better. God.
Okay.
Because green represents Mako energy.
They're like, you're probably gonna lose this in like 5 years anyway, right? Yep.
True.
And something of value that I'm just like that those are fucking gone. My dad couldn't believe we found it at a yard sale, like this old woman's yard sale.
Garfield jam
years and
glasses.
years ago. Well, that too. He went through this big stack of baseball and
Playboys.
basketball cards. And I remember we got them and then we had them sealed because we could not believe we got them. We had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Creamy Abdul-Jabbar.
Creamy Abdul-Jabbar.
So creamy.
Not like a rookie card.
Not a rookie card,
Okay.
but we're gonna
What a gruel master.
We did have a signed, had a signed rookie Pete Rose. That was amazing. And then
yeah, but he gambled, so I mean.
and then a rookie Pistol Pete Maravich. And it kills me that I don't know. That's just gone.
That does
kills
suck.
me.
I've got a rookie Charles Barkley somewhere.
Somewhere.
The shrug.
And then something else that's just like, damn, where the fuck did that go? My PSP. I had a PSP with Final Fantasy War of the Lines on it, and I think I left it in a rental car in Vegas.
Oh, that sucks.
That
gone.
It probably exploded because
Probably in that sun, in the Vegas sun.
Yeah, dude.
Probably.
Like I stored mine away for a long time, and then I got like someone was like, "Dude, those make great portable emulation machines." I was like, "Oh fuck yeah! How about I'd like hack that shit and load it up with NES, SNES games, get that going." I dug it out of the closet, and it was like the battery pack, the door on it was like bent, and it's like,
From
oh,
a
that's
swelling
not good.
battery.
Yeah, the lithium ion battery just
I fixed
expanded.
a bunch of iPhones that had
Yeah.
swollen batteries. Some to this day, I can't understand how they did never explode. But
Yeah, I looked it up online. I was like, "Hey, my PSP battery," and they were like, "Get rid of that."
yeah,
Somebody's
driving down the street in that rental car, or 2 weeks later. Wow, what the fuck?
I remember that happened to Blake's too, and he did something, but like, yeah, I took it out. I really shouldn't have done that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because he replaced it with a Pandora battery or whatever the shit he was supposed to do for all that.
Yeah, I gave up. I was like, "Yeah, I guess I could get a battery," but let's face it.
No.
It's also fun to just throw shit away.
Right? Yeah. I still got the PSP, but the battery's definitely thrown away.
Well, thanks for taking my quiz.
No, that was a good quiz. I
You're
like
welcome.
that.
Maybe I'll post these questions up on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
Please-
you should
please
totally
do.
do that.
Let's hear from everybody.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
hell yeah.
Okay.
Well, you hear that, Dave?
I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Nothing but silence. I definitely don't hear the sad bluesy sound of a tenor saxophone echoing down the stone streets of Maiden Alley. Oh, just like bleeding gums. That's more of a jazz flute.
The jazz man.
I'm just gonna let you go. The next 30 minutes is Tyler mastering the train whistle.
Mr. Burgundy,
Yeah.
would you honor us with some of your jazz flute?
That's what Tyler played in Max Rebo's band. The jazz flute.
Aqua lung.
I got spit all over myself.
There are like so normally that would lead into a segment called Dave Reads from the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 to 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Master Mold Mike. But those games aren't in this book. They're on Wikipedia, kind of, sorta. And by that,
Bring back the segment.
I said kind of, sorta.
Oh.
Like if you look it up on Wikipedia, it's like it directs you to the Donkey Kong Country page, and then there's like a sentence that says, "Yeah, there was also a competition card."
So wasn't there some big debate last night over Flopsy versus Dave Reads from Wikipedia?
Yeah, I asked people because you were in there for a bit in Twitch chat, and I was like,
I was trying to edit, so it was like I was popping in and out, in and out.
yeah, and I was like, "Is Tyler, are you here?" And then I didn't hear anything, and I was like, "Well, I was going to ask him if he thought it would be a good idea to make like a poll on Patreon to see if we use Wikipedia, Dave Reads from Wikipedia, or Dave Reads from the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Master Mold Mike." And I got a lot of good feedback on that. I wanted to do like, do you remember like back in the day, DC Comics was like, "We're gonna let you decide Robin's fate. Does he live or die? Cast your vote." And then the readers,
And then one guy calls 5,000 times and kills Jason Todd.
right, exactly. So I thought maybe it could be like that. But then a lot of people had some good points where it's like, well, why not both? Why not do both? And what it boiled down to was like, well, I do feel like reading from Wikipedia usually gives more knowledge, like a better breadth of knowledge, because I don't want to read verbatim what someone has written in the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library in
Pat Country
1991.
has written.
Yeah, well, he didn't do all of these. I mean, like they're like are contributing
Throw the
writers
garbage.
and stuff. All right, Ian, can I borrow your lighter? I need to burn this book. All right, I'm burning it right now.
Yeah.
It's forever gone.
Crackle, crackle.
Sacrifice to the randomizer. So honestly, like the deal is the real reason that I like reading from the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Country, courtesy of Master Roll Mike, is that is really fun to say. I just like
Yeah.
saying that.
Hey, and I think it's also I like the content that's in it,
Yeah, I do too.
and it's limited. It's very specific to what we're doing now, and then we're done. We're done with it.
Right.
It's the randomizer's Bible. When we're done with it, we're done with the randomizer.
Written by Prophet Pat Country
Exactly.
and all. Well, one of the suggestions.
He's the Catholic Church with all his hidden treasures, like the Nintendo
the
competition
World
cartridges.
Championship cartridges.
Yeah.
Well, one of the suggestions was to read from Wikipedia and then maybe check to see what the ratings for the game were in the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Country, courtesy of Master Roll Mike.
So everybody was like, we'd rather you do more work, Dave. That's what we want.
No, I mean, I didn't take it that way. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start with what the randomizer has tasked us to talk about?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so there is a thing that didn't come out in stores. You could purchase it, and it was called, according to there's a great website out there called SNES Central, and that's where I got a lot of the information about this particular game and the Donkey Kong Country competition cart. There is a Star Fox game called Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge, and it was specifically made for one event that happened in the spring of 1993. So you could go to Toys R Us, Electronics Boutique. I'm going to mention a whole bunch of stores that we haven't heard of in a long time, probably.
I read that too. I was like, oh my God.
Blockbuster,
Yep.
Media Play. What is
not
that?
not one we had around
Okay.
here.
We didn't have that,
I don't know
but
that
I'm
one.
familiar with it.
And KB.
KB
KB
Toys.
doesn't exist anymore, do they?
No.
Nope.
That's the one that had like the toy soldier in the
Yes.
middle of the logo, right?
Yes.
Man.
It was that, and the other one in the mall was K&K Toys.
K&K, yeah, man, I forgot about that one. Holy shit! I remember looking at those like Transformer knockoff toys that had like the
GoBots.
they weren't GoBots. I know those are definitely the knockoffs, but they were like the kind where you they had like the thermographic chest plates where you'd like put your
Yeah.
thumb on them and be like, oh, this one's fire.
Oh,
Oh shit! You unlocked something in my head that I thought was dead.
I can't
me
remember what
too.
those were
Yeah.
called, but
well, the original Transformer toys had those stickers on.
oh,
them.
did they really? I didn't know
But
that.
that's how you could tell. That's how you, if you didn't know, if you
If it was
found
a
out if it was an
Decepticon?
Autobot or a
Oh,
Decepticon,
fuck.
it was thermal. You'd
Yeah,
warm it
yeah.
up and it would change, and you'd see the logo. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that till you mentioned those.
What toys I used to play with all the time, similar to that, they were called Visionaries. And I couldn't say Visionaries as a kid, so I called them Gingerries.
Gingerries.
So my
Nice.
my Gingerries
Yeah.
were like they were robotic anthropomorphic animals, and they had that little holographic chest plate.
I know what you're talking about.
that
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
have like the animals that
Yeah.
they were inside of it.
Yeah.
Played
Oh,
all
man.
the fucking time.
Yeah, those were fucking cool.
Yeah.
There were also, I can't remember what they were called, but I know I've mentioned them on the show before, but they were essentially, like, as a cynical adult looking back, I'm like, oh, I see. They had a whole bunch of dinosaur toys that weren't selling, and they were like, how do we sell these? I don't know, man. Build like robotic exoskeletons you put on them, and then that's totally what they did. But so the Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge, you went to one of these locations and you played a 4-minute version of Star Fox, where the goal was you go through 3 levels and you collect as high a score as you possibly can. And if you were to score over a certain number of points, you got I think it was 70,000 points. You got a Star Fox Super FX chip T-shirt. If you were the high scoring player at a location, you got a Star Fox flight jacket.
Yeah.
And then, so all this sounds really awesome to me, but like, I think where Nintendo fucked up is they're like, okay, so we're going to take everybody who won at each location and then randomly choose a grand prize winner.
Yeah.
Instead of having like a tournament or anything.
Have an actual competition. That'd be
They'll
awesome.
just fucking pray to the randomizer and choose a dude. And like the winner of that got to choose whether they wanted a trip. I'm going to ask you guys which you would pick. Would you rather have a trip for 4 to London, Paris, Sydney, or Tokyo, or a lump sum of $15,000?
The money.
Of course. Well, I say that before Tyler answers.
I don't know. Now that costs a lot more than $15,000 now.
But $15,000 in 1993.
Especially if you were like a
That's
17-year-old.
a fuck ton. Yeah.
I'm not going to Tokyo. I'm getting that money.
Then money now. Maybe I take
Now
a trip to
Tokyo. Yeah, I'm with you. Because $15,000 is
Which
not
one of my kids which two do I like the most? Which two are going with us?
Yeah, who would you take with you?
Be careful how you answer.
I mean, look, it doesn't say they have to be your family. I would hope that you would at least consider taking me, your podcast
Okay,
host.
you're right.
The winner, the grand prize went to Trevor Petersma? Patersma? I don't know how to pronounce that. Of Garland, Texas. He decided to take the lump sum of $15,000. So this version of Star Fox had 3 levels that 2 of which are contained in the retail release of Star Fox, Corneria, which is the first area.
The planet side level.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's a shortened version of that where you fly through like under the bridges, and then you fight the boss, and then when you defeat the boss, you go to the second level of Star Fox, the asteroid level, and there's no like overplanetary map like there is in any of that, so it just puts you straight in there, and
it's first person perspective, right?
it is, which is like the
So
retail
you switch
version.
to Fox with a bow, and you're running through a dinosaur planet.
Yeah, and then you're playing it and you're like, this feels like it wasn't originally a Star Fox game. And the dude at KB Stores is like, shut up.
This feels like this is going to be a decade-long decline for the series.
Wait till Star Fox 64, because I honestly think that's like the peak.
It is.
Yep.
It's
Like as
so
much
good.
as I bag on the 64, Star Fox 64 was like
fucking great.
Fucking great
the
game.
great game. All competitors got a Star Fox pin.
Which I would want probably the most.
I would
like out
love
of those
any of
prizes.
these, man.
I would have liked the bomber jacket, but I'd be mad that I wouldn't be able to wear it now because it wouldn't fit me. But I would still have that Star Fox pin proudly displayed, like on my bag or something.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's awesome.
And the third stage, if you progress that far, was a stage that does not appear in the game. It was just an empty field of space with rings that you had to fly through.
Which some were spinning at like these unbelievably fast rates. They're like, it was like, how am I supposed to get through that? It just looked like it was twirling or something. Really
I wasn't able to
fast.
do it. Presumably, you could shoot the top of the ring to make it stop.
Oh, okay.
That was suggested to me by Brother Zalnop. But I didn't try it because I was like, who's ready for Donkey Kong Country Challenge card? This is going to be like, this is one of those things where it's like, this is a weird episode. Normally at the end, I would ask how much you think that this game goes on average on pricecharting.com. But instead of waiting until the end, let's go ahead and do that now. How much do you guys think that a cartridge of Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge goes for?
Now, these were the ones that were only out at the stores, right? These was not something that was ever auctioned off or given away or anything, right?
Okay, so that's a great question, and this will maybe help you formulate your answer. Around 2,000 copies of these were made, and they were distributed to the locations to play. Then they were sold in the Nintendo Super Power Supplies catalog, and around.
So were they the same ones, or did the retailers like have to send the cartridges back to Nintendo, or was it no,
that I
they
don't
didn't
know?
really-
That I
okay.
don't know. Unfortunately, a lot of this is kind of like a lot of this information that I've found is kind of muddy, and a lot of it's secondhand information. So I'm not positive about that.
Gotcha.
So around 2,000 of these were sold through the Super Power Supplies catalog.
Okay. Any more information before I guess?
Did I mention that you fly through rings in space?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I think that is it.
Today, to find one of those for, I don't know, I'd probably. Do we know how many are confirmed to still exist?
We do not know. All we know is that around 2,000 were sold through the catalog.
So there's one stuck in somebody's grandma's basement somewhere, probably.
Probably. There might be one back
Or just
behind
next someone's grandma. Whatever.
Yeah.
right under the house next to the snuff film.
Right. Yeah. They're like, hey, what's that next to the snuff film?
Oh my
shit.
God.
Oh, it's Stunt Race FX. Fuck.
I'm just going to throw a random number because I don't really know. I don't really know how that all works, but I would say probably in the neighborhood of about $7,000.
$7,000. All right. Tyler, what do you think?
I have to abstain because I heard about it in my research.
Okay, what did you find in your research? I'm curious to see.
$600 to $700.
Okay. And see, this is also very nebulous because it's like price charting is really one of those things where it's like it works best because it like pulls data from eBay, it pulls data from different like online sellers. So the number, and these cartridges are so rare that the numbers are going to vary wildly. According to pricecharting.com, Star Fox Super Weekend or Super Star Fox Weekend on average goes for $1,108.08.
So somebody really wants to sell me one.
Yeah.
Way off. That's as far off as I've ever been.
Well, look, I mean, it's not completely out of the question because, I mean, there are definitely championship cartridges that are way more expensive than $1,100.
Would it be worth having for your collection?
Of course it would.
Did it come?
Of course it would, yes.
I wonder, does it say anything about the packaging that these things had when they were sold? Like, did they come in a real SNES box with the little plaque sleeve? And
they, I don't know specifically about the Star Fox cartridge, but I do know that the Donkey Kong Country cartridge that we're going to talk about in a minute, it came in a box. And that box was not like the standard paper, cardboard SNES box.
Okay.
It came in like a green plastic, almost like a clamshell kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I assume in that Donkey Kong Country cart was also sold through that Power Supplies catalog. So it's like I assume that the Star Fox box was similar to that.
Okay.
I know they came with a card when you bought it through the catalog, and on the card it listed about the score range that the Nintendo, the pros that Nintendo said was possible. According to Nintendo, it was somewhere between 130,000 to 145,000, and that's around what you would need to get. You need to score that much to win at a location.
I think I read also that Nintendo said the max points you could get was something like 157,000 points or 168.
172,000 was the maximum. That's the highest score they thought was possible.
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't get close to that.
Billy Mitchell got 250. Crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. Kill screen coming up. 3 minutes.
Billy, he played as Cranky Kong. Didn't know how he did it.
There is like absolutely like, look, this is like one of those things where if I had like a lot of money,
Yeah,
where it's
disposable money.
yeah, just disposable money, where it's like, yeah, absolutely, I would want one of these because it's like we watched before we recorded this, we watched the episode of The Angry Video Game Nerd where Pat Contry comes on and they do like their thing about the Nintendo World Championship cartridge, and like. There is a part of that where like Pat Contry says of Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 book fame. He mentions that like these things are like history. They're like video game history and like that like
cultural keystones.
Yeah, man. And like
that resonated with you.
Absolutely.
Because what the nerd said resonated with me.
Yeah.
Which he was like, these games fucking suck. They're not fun. I get why kids like, oh, I got this. Well, fucking threw it in a box and didn't think about it anymore because it fucking sucks to play.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not fun.
If you think of it pragmatically, it is a lesser version of Star Fox.
Yeah.
Like Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge is a lesser, you're getting much less for it than Star Fox is a cheap game. You could pick up Star Fox for like, I don't know, man, probably like under $10. I mean,
I could see the Nintendo World Championship being something more because that was on TV. That was like that was an event from your childhood. Like,
it's also a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, like it
these
scales.
things, the Star Fox and Donkey Kong, it's like, oh, that's the thing that happened? Okay, cool. How much? Oh, they're really rare and I've never heard of any of this.
Yes.
But the Nintendo, I feel like that's, I mean, yes, it's more expensive. I feel like that has more
gravitas.
That's going to hook me more. I'm interested in that more than I am over like this. This
Absolutely.
is interesting, but it's like.
Yeah. It's not $1,100 interesting.
Right.
I get that. And then, like, I'm in no position to make a purchase like this.
Right.
But if you're listening to this and you want to sell me a copy for like $300, let's talk. The next cartridge, and this is when the randomizer gave us the tablet and said, "This is what I wish for you to play and speak about." When we were given the Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge, which I did not know about prior to
I'd never
to
heard
this.
of it.
But I did know about the Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge because this is one that I have seen on people talk about on Reddit. I have seen there's more documentation for this, and it's because it was used in 2 competitions. It was used in a competition called Powerfest 94. And this was, you guys, Tyler, I know that you've seen The Wizard because we've done an episode on The Wizard.
With Experience Grind.
Ian, are you familiar with The Wizard?
What the Wizard?
It's a movie that had Fred Savage in it.
It's an hour-and-a-half long commercial.
For Nintendo. It's got like the Power Glove
Fred
in it.
Savage and Bo Bridges.
My fucking God. Yes. I haven't seen it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
The end of it, the finale, spoilers for The Wizard, is they get to the competition, and the big thing about the competition is they unveil a game that no one has seen before, and that game is Super Mario Brothers 3. They did that for Donkey Kong Country in Powerfest 94. Powerfest 94 was a competition where Donkey Kong Country wasn't like the big game. It was like they played a bunch of different games, but then at the end they were like, here's Donkey Kong Country. And it like,
I can see where that blew people's minds.
I remember when I played it the first time, it blew my mind.
I to this day can't believe how good that game is. Like,
I think
graphically,
it's still the
and
best
everything.
one.
Absolutely.
People talk about Donkey Kong Country 2. I think the original, that's the one I love.
And it's beautiful, and it's smooth. The controls are great. The concept is amazing. Yeah, that's great.
Donkey Kong Country, like, seriously gets shit on. Like, in the last, 4 years, I feel like a lot of people have turned their backs on Donkey Kong Country.
I don't get it.
And it's because I think the argument is, compared to other Super Nintendo games, Donkey Kong Country does not age as well because that, the draw to Donkey Kong Country in 1994 was definitely the visuals. It was like, holy shit, this looks 3D, even though it was a, pre-rendered trick.
Yeah.
It still at the time looked amazing. But I would argue that Donkey Kong Country, the music in Donkey Kong Country
God.
is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I still think the gameplay
Music,
is really
sound
good.
effect, I don't get people hate it. That's some contrarian bullshit. It's still a good game.
It is.
Powerfest 94 was a competition where the competitors played Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels, Super Mario Kart, and Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball. They did the home run derby section of that game.
Which is the only part of that game that I thought was any fun when we did it.
Well, we got that batter up now, so we can see if the rest of the game
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
is any good. And then, Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge made an appearance. After that, it was again used in. Do you guys remember Blockbuster? You guys remember that store, Blockbuster?
Vaguely.
Something, yeah.
I remember I was talking to a guy on MIRC, and I was going to meet him at a Blockbuster, and then I went there and he never showed up.
Well, I heard about that. I actually heard about that is because Captain Marvel fell through the roof. Yeah.
Well, look, maybe the guy you were supposed to meet there saw you and was
Just
like,
thought,
never mind.
Gross.
He doesn't look like he has any Mako energy at all. Not worth my time. Guess I'll rent Speed.
Again.
Maybe Navy SEALs.
Are you Dave? Nope.
No, who? The reason I asked about Blockbuster is because they held a competition called the Blockbuster World Video Game Championships II, and they had one in '94, and then they had one in '95. In the second one, they used that Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge. That was like the prelim. That was the store level. So like if you were applying to play in this world championship, you would go to your Blockbuster store, and then they would be like, "All right, get as many points as you can in this Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge." And then they took those high scoring players, like I think one from each store, and then unlike the fuck up,
So it turned out to be every Blockbuster employee who could play it until they got a high score. They were the ones who made it through. It's really weird.
I'm sure that there was a rigorous check and balance system to keep the Blockbuster employees out.
Nah, the same people.
Every little fat kid got to play once, but if you were a hot girl, you got to play like 20 times.
Okay, that might be true, but
the same people that were behind the whole Monopoly Millions.
oh,
thing
don't
were
even
behind
get
that.
me started on McDonald's Monopoly.
I know. I'm furious.
I remember when I found out about that. I was like, those fucking bastards! I've been playing this shit for years.
I had them all except for the ones that were the winners.
Where's Boardwalk? Oh, I know. One guy printed it out and gave it to himself. Cool, great.
Yeah.
We did win, though, at one point. That is probably like the more family claim to fame when we collected all of the purple properties one year of a McDonald's
Yeah?
Monopoly game. We won $50.
Nice. 50 big ones.
$50. We took it lump sum.
I bet.
No, I won $1.75 for the next 20 years.
A year. Yeah.
So the way that the Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge worked is you got 5 minutes to score as many points as possible. There are technically 11 levels in the game, but without cheating and stopping the clock, from what I've read, the farthest you can get in it is like 8 levels. And it was also a weird experience because there's no overworld map. So like you start the game and it's like, boom, you're fucking in it. You're like getting, you know how Donkey Kong like gets like catapulted from his house?
Erupted out of his house. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And you're just in it, and it's like, what the fuck's going on? And then you just go. You finish a stage.
So do I do math problems? Right. Oh my God.
You finish a stage, and then it is like, boom, immediately in another stage. It's kind of like a surreal experience because it's like, I'm so used to getting through a level in Donkey Kong, and it's like Donkey Kong
You get
Country.
the fanfare and the clapping and the little dots that go to the next one.
You're right, yeah. And you got the doot, 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 and it's like a nice, yeah, it's like a nice, like soothing experience, and it's also like, hey, we encourage you to find all the secrets in this game, but the competition card is like, fucking go! You got 5 fucking minutes! Go! And it's like, this isn't fun.
He's a hungry ape. Gives bananas. Gives fucking bananas.
Could you still get the letters and stuff?
Yes, and you got more points for collecting all the letters. So it's like you got like 10 points per letter, but you got 100 points if you collected all of them.
What cost?
Exactly. You had to kind of like, I don't know, and
Time
see like
factor,
who
yeah.
knows what that strategy is, right? Because you got like a lot of points for finishing a level. I think you got like 250 points for finishing a level. So there could be a strategy where it's like, fuck it, man. I'm speed running this bitch. Like my goal is to just get through as many fucking levels as possible. I didn't really experiment a whole lot with that because I played it like 2 times. My score was like 2,700, and I was like, don't think I'm ever gonna get higher than that. So I'm gonna play Secret of Mana, which is totally what I did. But the high score.
A band named Sam Burridge out of Paducah, Kentucky.
There's a blast from the past. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
The Nintendo pros claim that the high score for that was 3,641. And like the Superstar Fox Weekend Challenge, Nintendo sold these cartridges through the Super Power Supplies catalog. This one,
Something I've never heard of.
me neither.
No, me neither.
So I don't really know. I didn't do any research on
That's
that.
some dumb magazine for the 1%. Nintendo's like, here, buy our stuff, 1%. the regular working man needs copies of Powerfest 94. Nintendo World Championships for everybody.
Universal Donkey Kong Country Challenge.
Everybody gets their own rad racer.
I am once again asking for a K, an O, an N, and a G. About 2,500 of these cartridges were sold through that catalog.
How much did they retail for? Does it say?
I think that they sold. They did say, and this is I didn't write them down in my notes, but I think it was around $35.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You got to be forward thinking to drop that kind of money. In terms of
No
this
shit.
is going to be part
Warren
of history,
Buffett
like they were
owns
saying.
all of them.
That you gotta think ahead and be like, yeah, this will be worth something someday.
Did you guys know that they built the Mars rover out of Donkey Kong Country competition cartridges?
No.
That's why it was so expensive.
Yeah, and then
Otherwise, it would have been $20.
right.
Otherwise, they could have built it out of old ET cartridges.
They couldn't find them. They were buried.
They look.
They tried.
We were gonna do
they
that.
tried.
The first $10 million was spent trying to find enough cartridges.
And then Saddam Hussein later was like, hey, I remember when they built that Mars rover out of fucking Donkey Kong Country. I'm going to buy all the PlayStation 2s to guide missiles. Do you remember that shit?
No, I don't remember that shit
Oh,
at all.
yeah. That was not true, right?
No.
There's no way that was true, but I remember hearing
Hey, guy, I bought the PS2s.
So how much do you, I mean,
Come on, Satan. I just want to see these missiles.
come on, guy. So how much do you guys think that the Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge goes for on average? PriceCharting.com. We all know this doesn't matter because the numbers are so fucking skewed.
It's out there. Yeah. This time I'll go a lot lower and say $1,200.
$1,200 from Ian. Tyler, what do you think?
$700.
$700 from Tyler. Actual retail value of Donkey Kong Country competition on PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording is $1,650.51. But I will say that is higher than I had seen in my research. So again, I feel like this is like some kind of weird like algorithm inflation or something like that. And then that's all of the Super Nintendo competition cartridges that I'm aware of. There were other Super Nintendo games that were used in competitions, like we were talking about Powerfest 94 earlier. There was, in 1992, Nintendo held a campus challenge, aka the SNES Campus Challenge, where contestants played Super Mario World, where they collect 50 coins, complete 2 laps in F-Zero, and then the part that no one ever could do, and they had to cancel the competition, land on 2 targets successfully in Pilot Wings.
Yep.
That was a joke. Someone did it. Someone did it.
Probably not. As I have seen from, because everybody says on the internet, nothing's real, nothing ever happens. And proof of that was Pat Country on Pawn Stars selling both of his Nintendo World Championship cartridges.
He wanted $30,000 for them.
35,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
$35,000.
his little interview is like, yeah, these are pretty rare, but I really need the money right now.
I believe it. I believe Pawn Stars is not scripted
And
at all.
Chumley's like, oh man, what are these video games worth?
That's the best part. You mentioned it when we were watching. It's not even Rick. It's Chumley. Just
I don't know, man. What do you think what do you want for them?
come a
I
long
don't
way
know.
since Super Mario Brothers.
Well, as you see in this magazine, oh man, you've got the magazine.
He says, oh fuck, what did he say? He said something like, will you tell me how much you gave for him? I'd really rather not.
Yeah. And then we saw an interview later, Tyler, you pulled up an interview of Pat's podcast where he's telling the story about how he got the Nintendo World Championship cartridges. And
the gold one, because he already had the gray one.
Right.
But yeah.
And the whole time I'm just listening, being like, how much? How much? How much did you pay? How much did you pay? And never said it.
Yep.
Never said it.
He's not going to, yeah.
Not gonna, I don't think.
I think he either fleeced the guy or was some kind of like deal under the
It's
table.
probably an arrangement, is my guess.
Yep.
Or he paid
Or way too much.
And
Yeah.
he's like having that saxophone selling moment.
Man, maybe I should go on Pawn Stars and just get rid of these.
That dummy didn't even get Sword and Fist, I bet. There was also, the year prior to that, there was a Nintendo Campus Challenge 1991. I'm sorry. Before we go on to that, the SNES cartridge for the Nintendo Campus Challenge 1992 is a really cool looking cartridge. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it is essentially a board with all of the ROMs on that board because it's one cartridge. You're gonna have like multiple ROMs, and I guess it's so big that it is not in a plastic cartridge case like Super Star Fox Weekend is and like Donkey Kong Country Competition is. It is just an exposed board that lies flat on top of the Super Nintendo. Like it's that
Wow.
big. And only 3 copies are known to exist, and only 2 are verified to exist.
Wow.
The third one is just like a guy who's like, yeah, I got it in the basement. We helped make it. We got it.
I mean, I was using it to level my desk. It wobbles. It was the perfect size.
Nintendo games, they come in something. This is just, it's just a circuit board.
It looks like some kind of IBM. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, this is like it's the thing that used to power short circuit. You remember that guy? You remember that guy?
Johnny 5. Remember when Johnny 5 came alive?
Yeah.
It's because of this.
This thing.
I mean, what they call a movie Johnny 5. I mean, he's short circuit, right?
So because only 3 existed purportedly, there's no value on these.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Priceless.
Priceless. I don't know that they've even been sold. I mean, it's kind of one of those where it's like, I think one existed at a like gaming convention where you could like go and play the real cartridge, which is really neat. I wish they had something like that at the Louisville Arcade Expo. So, but I mean, they have a good retro collection.
They
there,
do, but they're not going to have anything like that.
yeah. Did you guys see? Speaking of like things like that, did you see that the SNES Sony PlayStation, the Nintendo PlayStation went on auction?
Really?
Yes, the prototype.
Wow.
Yeah, not too long ago, and boy. Yeah. I don't think Matt Cartridge is going to buy that one.
What was it? What did it go for?
I think the auction is still going, but I mean, it's like projected to be like multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll dial it back in 1991. That was the first Nintendo Campus Challenge. And my big takeaway from this is that a dude who went to SIU, which is very close to us,
Yeah.
he won. He won it. His name is Steven Lucas. And he won a 1992 Geostorm.
Nice.
Only one cartridge of this is known to exist. And do you want to take you might have seen it in the notes, but do you want to take a guess at how much that one is valued?
$13,000.
$13,001.
Between $14,000 and $20,000. In this campus challenge, in this cartridge, there's a theme here. In Super Mario Brothers 3, you needed to collect 25 coins. In Pinbot, an NES game that I've never played, you need to collect 100,000 points. And then in Dr. Mario, get as many points as possible. And then that brings us to winding it back even farther. What we've been talking about with Pat Contry and the gray cartridge and the gold cartridge, and that is the 1990 Nintendo World Championship, also known as NWC. The gray cartridge, so this was a competition that had this was like a big one because they had like age brackets. They had a 11 and under category, a 12 through 17, and an 18 and older. they had they as a prize to the 90 finalists in the competition, Nintendo gave them a gray cartridge that contained the competition ROM that they all played. Those go on average for around $10,000.
That's the one with the dip switches, right?
Yes.
That you could change the time requirement for
Yeah, these are actual like cartridges in plastic cases, and you're right. At the top left, there's a square, like a rectangle cut out where you can see the exposed board, and on that board are 4 dip switches where you can change like the times and stuff.
And
like
the label says what to set the dip switches to for the different times.
Yes,
and then that's got the serial number, right?
Yeah, they're numbered, so it's one of those where it's like. Ian, you're an art major. You know, like how like prints are numbered. Like when you make a print, you number it, and it's like you have print 4 of 92. So it's essentially like that, but for like a Nintendo cartridge. It kind of gives it a little bit of like gravitas.
That and uniqueness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So from my research, I found that those go for around $10,000. There's also a gold cartridge. Only 26 copies of these were made, and they were given as prizes through Nintendo Power. These, I've read, go for around $100,000. Which is like one of those where it's like, I really want to know how much Pat Country paid for that gold cartridge.
Especially since he asked for $35,000 for both of them.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, again, I know I mentioned this earlier, and this episode is really tough for me because we say this in the disclaimer. Nicole says this in the disclaimer. We're not experts. And like, I am super not an expert on this. I know
And because of this, we're also not collectors.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well, I can never get all of them ever. So fuck it.
But no, that's like an absolutist attitude.
Yeah.
All right,
You got it.
All right, Mr. Seth.
Seth. I collected absolutes.
I mean, come on, there's shades of gray. You could start with the Game Boy. That's like you could probably get all the Game Boy games.
Maybe.
Well, they probably have one of each of those at the GameStop down the street.
The competition, the Game Boy competition
cards.
Mortal Kombat 2.
All right, how about Virtual Boy? That's doable.
Yeah.
That's like
there is one of those that's very expensive.
Still kind of expensive,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean that's doable.
That's doable.
So in the 1990 Nintendo World Championship, it was a time challenge like the other ones. In this one, you needed to collect 50 coins in Super Mario Brothers, do 3 segments in Rad Racer, and then in Tetris, score as many points as possible. And back to what I was saying before I forgot what I was midstream, I'm not an expert on this shit. Mm-hmm. This is just me doing like a morning's worth of research.
Yeah,
so
it's a little intro history lesson thing about it. I didn't know anything about
This
it.
is me doing an hour worth of research on Dave's research.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Me too.
I just want to throw that out there because, like, I don't want to present this as like, this is all 100%.
It's all you know.
Correct. Right. Goodbye. Thanks for, now you're an expert too.
Trust but verify.
Right, exactly. Yeah, for real. Like, absolutely. Like, if this stuff is interesting, I urge you to do more research on it than I did for this podcast where we talk about dicks and buttholes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I don't know. I've had fun doing this. This was nice.
It was a nice
I like
little
this.
departure. I
like
kind of
this.
thought it was neat.
Well, good. I'm glad. I was worried. I was like, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it.
I
it's
learned
good.
about something I had never heard of,
Yeah.
and those cartridges are cool to see. I'm not obviously ever going to be interested in owning them,
And
but
I have
it's
that much
really
more
neat.
respect for Pat Country.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say something earlier about Twitch. Remember I said remind me of Twitch, and we were the Universal Studios thing.
Yeah, okay, right. So I'm glad that you said
Yeah.
that because like a lot of these tournaments were held at Universal Studios.
Right.
And then,
A lot of Floridian winners here.
Yeah.
well, like some of the video footage I saw like took place or like this is us doing the semifinals in Tallahassee.
So I watched that video of the TV show. What was the TV show? The Universal Studios Kids Challenge or Kids
Yes.
something.
It is the 1993 Nintendo Star Kids Challenge. And
But before that, it was the 1992 Sega
yes.
Kids Challenge.
Right.
Sega came up with the idea
Yes.
for this thing. And there's a bunch of physical challenges, but at the end they had to play Sonic the Hedgehog
Right.
for points.
Do 40 push-ups and then Green Hill Zone 1.
Pretty much.
Did that remind you of Twitch? Because that is definitely...
We're very Japanese. You have to exercise before you have fun.
That's definitely a gimmick that I'm going to do.
Well, it was where I was going with it was that, interestingly enough, in the video that I actually watched all the way through, the guy said Sega started this whole thing.
Yes.
It was their idea. They bankrolled it. They needed more advertising because they couldn't afford to put the advertising out there that they really wanted.
Right.
So they said, we're going to throw all our money into this thing, put it on TV, make it happen. Turns out it was a huge success. And then Sega just decided not to do it again.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
So Universal Studios is like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
This is giving us all money. Why are you not doing this? So guess who steps in? Nintendo. So the next year, it was the Nintendo Kids Challenge or whatever. And so they had the hosts, Downtown Julie Brown from old MTV.
Yeah.
Scott Baio.
Scott Baio.
Charles and Chuck.
Alfonso Ribeiro was there. One of the ones from Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, I
One
can't
of the
remember her
girls.
name.
I can't remember her name. I just saw it earlier.
Mr. Cooper.
Mrs. Cooper.
It wasn't Mrs. Cooper. I think it was a daughter. But anyway, so at the end of this thing, they got these 5 kids who are going to play. They were all the different colored teams, the red, blue, yellow, green. They got these 5 kids who are going to play Star Fox, the competition version of Star Fox.
Right.
For points. And
Including Brittany Murphy.
so, yes. Yes.
So bizarre.
Randy the Macho Man Savage was there.
Yep. Eddie from Family Matters is playing Star Fox. It's just like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know. Yeah, it was so anyway,
It's a different time, man.
they go to the kids that are like the team representatives here, and they're all lined up, and it was Joey Lawrence interviewing them.
Yeah, which also was like, I was like, is that Joey Lawrence?
Yes, he was a huge deal
Look
back
at that
then.
hair, man.
Interviewing them, like, okay, so what's your strategy here? And they're like, well, I mean, save your bombs for the end, or you won't really be able. If you waste your bombs, you won't be able to use them. And then the kid next to him would be like, "Yeah, pretty much what he says." Yeah. Anyway, they go and they start playing Star Fox.
Yeah.
And at one point, they put the screen for the game up on one side of the screen. It's like, of course, a really
that
overly,
perspective thing.
The little back into the 1 point perspective with the overly 90s like moving background, like neon, whatever. And then a little square with the player down here on the lower
Like
part of it.
picture in picture, like
Reminded you of Twitch?
Skewed in the other way. And Downtown Julie Brown was like, oh, this is giving us an opportunity to see both the player and the game. And I'm like, that's Twitch.
That's Twitch.
They just figured out Twitch all of a sudden. And then they're commentating the whole time. And he's like, look how he's jumping. He's so having such a good time. And he's going to destroy that thing. Man, there's a lot of space fighting going on right now.
Yeah, the commentary was hilarious.
Macho Man was even saying stuff. He's like, ooh, yeah, he's doing good. Ooh, yeah, that was a great move, bro. Oh, God, it was so amazing. I was literally crying. I was laughing
my
so
old partner,
hard.
Leap Larry, used to date Brandon's mom.
It was great. It was the 90s-est thing I've ever seen.
Yes, and I definitely want to have a link to it in the show notes if
Please
possible.
watch it. It's only the thing is only like 15 minutes long.
Yeah,
not
it's
much.
short because it's just the Star Fox segment.
Yeah.
But what is the only? I'm so glad I found it. But here is how I found it. I just went to YouTube, typed in Super Star Fox Weekend Challenge. This video pops up, even though it is not the challenge.
It's not part of it. Yeah.
It's labeled as that. That's the title of it, but it's like that's not what it is. It's the 1993 Nintendo Star Kids Challenge.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
And I want to give credit to the YouTuber who put together the video about the Nintendo Star Kids Challenge. That guy is named Bad Nick Mechanic.
Yeah, good. He sounded a lot like The Escapist, actually.
Oh, yeah?
He had that same sort of style about him. It was really good.
Yeah, very informative video. And we got to see what a Mario mascot costume looked like in 1993.
Sort of.
Holy shit.
Sort of, because like he was hidden in the crowd most of the time.
Yeah, because they knew. They were like, that thing is an abomination to God.
It was.
Did you take the guy from Chuck E. Cheese and just paint him red and then just send him out?
Can you melt him down a little bit first?
It was like the grandfathers of the guys who designed the original Sonic for the Sonic movie. Are the ones that designed this Mario costume.
But there was no internet to save us back then.
Nope.
So they just released Mario into the wild.
Correct. I saw a meme today. I'm bringing back audio memes.
Oh, perfect.
The top panel was like, today when kids have a problem with their video game mascots being fucked up, they can. And this is what you start with, and this is what you get.
Oh, I know where you're going. I've seen this one.
The bottom was the mushroom,
The
from
Goombas.
the Goomba from Super Mario, and then the Goomba from the movie.
Yep. Dinosaur had the giant fucking shoulder pad. God.
'Cause we had to deal with it.
This
Y'all
is
can
what we
complain
got.
and get shit fixed.
I'm once again asking you to watch the Double Dragon movie because it's really good. It's a really good
Watch
movie.
Scott Wolf not karate.
Do you remember when they destroyed an ecosystem by setting a river on fire? I do because I watched the Double Dragon movie.
Oh, goodness.
We've got an episode on that on patreon.com
Yeah, we do.
/TADPOG. I think that might be it. Definitely watch the 1993 Nintendo
I'll
Star
put it in the
Kids
show
Challenge
notes.
video. Holy
Please, dude.
shit.
It is so
It-
fucking entertaining.
It is amazing.
Just because I was not a child during that time, but I had children and I was still watching stuff like that, and it took me back. I was like, holy crap, I recognize every one of these people from shows I used to watch. Just, that's crazy.
Did you guys ever watch or know that this existed? The Game Pro TV show?
No.
Seems like I actually, the only reason I knew about it was because of Laser Time.
Oh, okay.
They showed like 4 hours straight of that show. I didn't
on
know
their
about
Facebook
it.
page?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know about it before then, but I did watch some of it while it was on. It's kind of cool.
Mitch, aka Catchpenny Gaming, on the TADPOG Discord, he posted like the first episode of it, and I didn't know it existed. And it's hosted by. Do you guys remember JD Roth? He's like a ginger dude.
Yeah.
He was one of the hosts, and then the other one was the other host. I can't remember his name, but he was very much like, you remember Step by Step? Remember Cody from Step by Step?
Okay, yep.
He was very much that kind of guy.
He, one of those guys.
One of those guys. And it was like, you could definitely tell that he was like not like this in real life because he's like, yeah, bro, let's play this game. And it's like, you're not
working.
selling it.
See, I think I remembered it. Maybe it wasn't the same show, but it was a game show for playing video games. But the host was like, like a regular old game show host, like some dude that hosted Match Game once before or something.
You thinking of Starcade, maybe?
Maybe it's Starcade that I'm thinking of.
That was a little bit before my time. Because like when you first started talking about a game show where they play video games, of course, the first place I went was Nick Arcade.
That's what I watched, not Game Pro. I didn't know about that one then because I was confusing it with Starcade.
Okay.
And the host for that is like my dad would
Gotcha.
be.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
He's clueless about what's going on.
Right. Yeah, those
All
are
right, play this fun-looking game and see how many points you get. Bye.
those
Gene-
are really funny.
Gene, what's his name from the Match Game? He's just like, let's talk about video games.
It's like, these are neato. Isn't that what you kids say these days, neato?
The Game Pro TV show was it wasn't a game show. It was like a TV show version of their magazine, which is like, I can totally see working for the time because like I remember like being a kid, 7 years old, buying those how to win at Nintendo games fucking books, the red one, the green one, the blue one. And it's like, I would flip through the pages and it's like, man, I need some kind of visual aid because it's like, I don't know which shuriken icon you're talking about. So like on the Game Pro TV show, that's like, And it is funny to watch. It's so quaint because like you can see the tracking, like where they recorded the game footage and then put it on the show. But it's nice because you can see like what the fuck they're talking about. Although they talk about in the first episode, they talk about Wolverine for the Sega Genesis. And they keep saying Magneto over and over. And it was just like, and it was like, oh boy, if you say Magneto one more time, I don't think I'm going to be able to contain my laughter anymore. Magneto.
Magneto. That's his name, right?
It's kind of like SpaghettiOs. I don't know. Fuck kids.
He was the lesser known Thundercat.
There's no A in that. It's clearly Magneto or Magneto. It's not Magneto.
So what I want
learn to spell
in the next Marvel vs. Capcom game, I want them to put Magneto in, like Master of Nets.
He'd be kind of like the Aquaman of the group.
Absolutely.
Like he's very specific, but when we need him, it's pretty handy. It's pretty.
He beats Aquaman's ass.
Oh shit! Beast is caught in a net
again. God.
but Magneto is our sworn enemy. But he's the only one who can help us right now. Him and JD Roth. That's it. That's all I got.
You got any more questions?
I got a few questions that I could ask. I did stream this on Twitch on Sunday. The Chivo command was functioning, but only one person used it.
Perfect.
So thank you, Cathusis Jeff. Let me read his 2 achievements. I feel like the last 2 episodes I've been like, holy shit, you guys are fucking amazing. You've got like 22 achievements in.
Oh, man, I'm so thirsty. Let me go back to this well. Oh, man.
There are 2 achievements.
Dry.
First achievement. So that means that's good news for Cathusis Jeff.
Right. He gets he's just in like
fucking
Flint.
star of the show.
Yeah.
Unprecedented reading 2 achievements from the same person.
How in the
Only
ass?
Kyle Turtleballs had this honor before.
How in the ass did nobody submit any achievements?
Well, I mean, if you stop and think about it, it's like in their defense, I played like these games are so
that's
short.
right. You
it's
did.
4 minutes and
you
5
did play
minutes.
Secret of Mana for like 3 hours.
Yeah, and then it was 2 hours of Secret of Mana. The first achievement, which comes in from Cathusis Jeff, is When Worlds Collide. And in order to unlock When Worlds Collide, play both games and realize Andros is Space Cranky Kong.
He really is. That's a good point.
Andros is an anagram for Cranky Kong.
That's a meme in the making, I think. And the next achievement I've got also comes in from Cathusis. Is it Cathusis or Cathusiast?
No, I should have said Andros is a bananagram for Cranky
A bananagram.
Kong. That makes more sense.
You guys remember bananas and pajamas?
Yeah, coming down the stairs.
Coming down the stairs.
I seem to remember him coming down the stairs.
Always looking for my snuff in the floorboards. Stay upstairs!
So I'm just imagine bananas and pajamas snuff porn of just like getting fucking mashed.
That made me sad.
Squeezed through the peel.
Fuck, man.
Bursting out their heads.
Tyler, you made me feel something.
Oh, damn.
That takes a lot, dude. And I didn't even really like bananas and pajamas, but they just seem so innocent. They just wanted a little snuff porn.
All I know is I'm gonna make stop action bananas and pajamas snuff porn.
Bananas and pajamas can have a little snuff porn.
Hey, what are you guys doing down here? You shooting a movie or something? Well, I'd love to be in it. Where do you need me to be? I don't even know if that's what the motherfuckers sound
No, I don't know either.
But I always would imagine that, hey, guys, like Butters.
Kind of sounds like Toad from Super Mario Brothers.
Or Butters from South Park. Hey, guys, what are y'all doing?
Poor Butters, man. In that episode where he's dressed up like a dog. Like that is simultaneously the funniest Butters episode and also the worst. Second achievement I've got coming in from Cathusis Jeff is Star Kong. In order to unlock Star Kong, play both demos, then play the real versions of these games. Wow. Star Kong.
All right.
Not to be confused with Star Lord.
Who?
Star Kong is the really unknown Avenger. He's like the fifth Beatle, you know. No one knows about Star Kong.
That's Planet of the Apes when they catch up and make in their timeline.
Yes.
Make all the Avengers movies.
Star Kong quit Nintendo right before they got real big. That's it. That's all I got as far as the games go. But yes, I do have more questions for you guys if you are game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do have a quiz which came in from the Prime Inquisitor, UK parentheses UK close parentheses Ross Rachel Green. The title of this quiz is Insert Punny Title Here. I am not going to lie. It's been a rough old week for poor Ross Rachel Green.
But you got all those TVs and a shirt with birds on it.
Yeah, man, you got some
saw
nice.
that post.
I saw those PVMs, man. I was super jealous. I would love a PVM. And also over there, they had like RGB as like a fucking just a standard ass thing. Lucky ass bastards. Ross Rachel Green continues, between pricks at work being sick and leaving me to be the only sucker in the office, to having steaming piles of work dropped on me from a great height and coming to bed too tired to play games, it's been a chore of a week. So this quiz is really going to phone it in with 10 questions about games from episode 450 onwards.
450 onwards. All right.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Question number 1. This game sees you feeding an alien to perform simple tasks.
Boy and his blob. David Crane's a boy and his blob.
David Crane's, nice. What episode number do you think it was?
450.
That seems like a pretty fucking good guess. All right, locking it in. It is, in fact, 450, a boy and his blob. We've done it. Tyler, you've done it.
For the third time now.
Next question. This was the only Famicom game you have made an episode of. That's Supari Osamu.
Okay.
The sumo wrestling game.
Yeah.
What episode number do you think it was? Also my favorite episode art ever, I think.
Yeah. And the Twitch art you made was also.
I actually prefer the one where I'm a Mithra bending over.
What are you thinking? I have
81.
481? All right, 481. Logging it in. It is, in fact, 453. Supari Ozumo. Next question. The star of this game was the first boss in Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja.
Say that again?
The star of this game was the first boss in Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. Karnov. What episode number do you think it was?
Go for it.
507.
507. Karnov locking it in. It is, in fact, 488. Karnov.
Would have been closer if I'd have just said 481 again.
Look, man, Tyler, I'm glad you pulled. I did not know that. Nice pull. Next question. This Olympics-based game has an event where you try to make fire. Caveman Games. What episode number do you think that was? 493?
493.
493.
Sure. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Locking it in is 493. Caveman Games.
No one's going to believe you got that.
I know.
I believe you.
Thank you. I mean, look, if I was cheating, I'd definitely have known it was Karnov, right? And there's a lot more merit in knowing that Karnov is the first boss in Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja than there is knowing what episode number of TADPOG, a podcast that very few people have heard of, they did an episode of Caveman Games on. Next question. This game was developed by the people that would go on to create Pokemon and was named Jerry Boy in Japan.
Oh, yeah, that's my game. Smart Ball.
That's your game.
Smart Ball.
Smart Ball. What episode number do you think Smart Ball was?
501.
501. Levi's. Logging it in. It was, in fact, Smart Ball, episode 494.
494.
Next question. In this game, a number features heavily, from the title to the number of characters and even a SNES technology. So that'd be mode 7 would be the SNES technology.
Mm-hmm. Seven Saga?
7 Saga.
7 characters.
Yeah.
7 Saga.
All right. That sounds good. What episode number do you think that was? I think that was like 5. That was like an early 500, right?
I'm going to say, yeah.
502?
Sure.
501? You want to go 501
Stay
again?
with 501.
It's got to stick.
501.
501. Seven Saga. Locking it in. It is 501. Seven Saga. Man, I feel good. Damn, I feel good. I wish people would drop more hot loads of work on Ross more often. It works out in our
God,
favor.
I love it when Ross gets hot loads.
Next question. This could have been a shameless cash grab, but turned out to be a decent game.
That's all we get?
Yeah, this could. Oh, I bet it's because we're in the Super Nintendo randomizer range. I bet this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because we
Okay.
were surprised I was surprised how good of a beat 'em up that game was for a licensed property.
Yeah. Okay. Power Rangers.
What episode number do you think it was?
543.
543. Locking it in. It is 503. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Nice.
Parentheses SNES. Next question. This game sees a famous wizard kidnapping school students. That is King Arthur
Oh, yeah.
and the Knights of Justice.
Nice. Thank you. Excited.
Football team.
A kid
Yeah.
in King Arthur's court. A football team in King Arthur's court.
What episode number do you think that was? That was a horrible game. That was a really bad game.
507.
All I can remember are the fucking hornet nests from that fucking stupid game. 507?
Yep.
Locking it in. It is 505. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. Next question. This game had a challenge mode which was significantly better than the actual sport this game is based on. The Game Boy version was only the challenge mode.
It's a football game.
NFL Quarterback Club 94.
95.
Ooh, discrepancy. Judges?
NFL Quarterback Club. I don't remember what year.
Do you remember, Ian, if it was 94 or 95?
I want to say 95.
All right, 95. What episode number do you think it was?
Oh,
The last one was 505.
Dennis was on it, right?
Yeah, Dennis was on that one.
514.
514? Logging it in. It is 510. We all win. NFL Quarterback Club.
Yay!
All right.
Next question. This game is based on a TV series that two regular hosts might be too into. Two regular hosts. You and me, Tyler?
Oh, Star
It's
Trek:
Star
Next
Trek
Generation.
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space
Oh.
Nine. There we go.
He's talking about me and John.
There you go.
Oh, nice. I got mentioned in a quiz.
There you go.
How nice. British mockery.
You fool. I was just talking about how much I liked listening to you talk. No, I'm over it. I'm over it. Sorry.
What episode number do you think it was?
And I was on it. So
And also, do you remember the
full?
full title?
Oh, shit. It was.
Because doesn't it have a super long ass title like
it's
Star
like
Trek
Crossroads of Time.
Crossroads of Time! I think you're right. Nice. Dude. Nice pull. What episode number do you think it was?
No, I don't know.
I mean, you were on it.
What was the last one?
510.
Maybe that was 514.
All right. 514. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, The Crossroads of Time. Locking it in. It is 519. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Ross is so busy with work he couldn't even be
Can't get the
bothered
full
to
titles.
put the full title in. I'm just fucking with you, Ross.
And then we're
Thank you
not
for the
too
quiz.
into it, so boom.
You're into it just enough.
We're into
It's
it
just
just
the
impossible.
right amount.
It's impossible to be too into
When
it.
we fire up our podcast, then we will be into it too
All right.
much.
Okay. Now
If
we
they
need-
get their plastic surgery on their ears to be Vulcan, that's
That's
too into
too
it.
in.
Maybe.
They're in the right amount.
depends on how hot they stay. If they stay super
That's
hot,
true.
then it's
That's
fine.
true. I might want to fuck John more if he had Vulcan ears. I mean, I already want to fuck him pretty bad, but man,
Let's put it to the test.
Vulcan- let's warm up. I'll put John in cat ears
Yeah.
and fuck him. Then we'll see what
Take the
happens.
Patreon goal.
Take the Pepsi fucking challenge on that shit.
$800. I fuck John early.
Or
No, I
a
was
Superstar
talking-
Fox Weekend Challenge cartridge. You
I
decide.
was talking about his. I was talking about the Patreon goal being for him to get his ears done.
So speaking of, when the fuck are you guys going to start your Star Trek podcast?
Fuck, I don't know.
Come on, do
Probably,
the
probably
thing.
never.
Fucking do it.
Probably fucking never.
Do it. Do the thing.
I would love to. I'm already thinking about it. Like
I'm already thinking about it, Dave. But where do you
I'm
want?
thinking about it. Like,
Manifest
what would we
it.
call it? I've actually researched, and like, by the way, 89% of the names I came up with were already taken.
Oh, yeah.
There
Did you
are,
think about? Did you think about JITAS?
No.
John and Ian talk about Star Trek?
No, never did try that one. That's probably taken though.
I mean, it might be.
It might be.
We're gonna look it up.
Anything like
Deep
that
Space
would
Nine and a Half.
be-
There you go.
Well, our
Deep,
thing,
deep
our,
space big enough.
our thing's going to be next gen that we would do.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, let's brainstorm real quick.
I was going to call it hailing frequencies. It's taken.
It's
But
taken.
easily taken. I mean, that's like actually a really popular one. And then, I mean, pretty much any Star Trek term you can come up with
Like a reference. Then
has
you got-
been used as a podcast title for Star Trek podcasts because there's like 500 million Star Trek podcasts.
All right. Now you guys have to start a track team and then call it Star Tracks. And then you talk about what events you do well in, and then you segue into how that relates to a Star Trek episode.
I thought about, I don't want to say it because what if someone steals
Yeah,
it?
someone might steal it. Or I like the next Star Trek podcast you're going to listen to.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
You have that.
Would it be an episode by episode like
My plan for it would be, should we be able to do it, is that yes, we would just start at the beginning and watch episodes and talk about that
Next
episode
Generation.
of Next Gen, and then probably if we ever got done, we'd go to Deep Space Nine and then Voyager and all those
Untitled Star Trek podcast?
and talk about. I bet that's out there actually. I bet it
Fuck,
is.
man. There are a lot of Star Trek
There
podcasts,
are
I
a
guess.
lot of Star Trek podcasts. I don't listen to any of them, oddly enough. I already know a lot about Star Trek.
Set phasers to fun.
Gene Roddenberry's
I wanted
favorite
to
Star
do
Trek
that.
podcast.
I actually wanted to do that. I would consider that one. Set
The
phasers to
Roddenberries
fun.
taste like Roddenberries. Did you think about that one? How about that one? That's
No,
probably
I
not so
really
good.
like
Oops, all
that.
Roddenberries.
I like those.
So
I
there's
hadn't gone
two-
that way. I gotta talk to you guys. Maybe you can help me.
Those are yours. Those are free.
After we're done, I'll tell you
Yeah.
the name I came up with.
All right. But seriously, consider those two that we gave you. They're like your gift for coming
They're
on.
free.
Yes.
They're free until you get bigger than us. Then,
Right.
Then they're going to cost
And then
you.
there'll be
You
hell
gotta
to pay.
for it. Yeah. Then you're gonna run that tab, just constantly ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, you'll
Like
be like
it.
Homer inventing the flaming Homer. And we'll just take that shit.
Yes.
We know it's cough syrup. We know that's a secret.
Ian. Ian.
Ross Rachel Green has a little bit of an extra question at the end. He says, just for fun, would you rather have robot arms to be super strong or robot legs to be super fast?
Arms.
Arms to be super strong?
Legs. I can't feel.
Legs?
I can't feel my wife's boobs with robot arms.
What if you have human hands still?
All right.
Then would you go? then would
If
you go
they're
arms?
robot arms but human hands, I can still feel things with. Sure. All right.
Robot legs would probably help you fuck better, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
And this is true.
I gotta go fast. But I need to build my strength, so I'd take the quick and easy route and do arms for sure.
Yeah.
I'm plenty fast.
Then you would never have to skip. Then you would never have to skip leg day, and leg day's easy. Leg day's nothing.
Yeah, but man, I don't know shit about leg day. I don't know shit about arm day. I don't know shit. All I know is I get on that machine sometimes and do the running bit.
Do you know who brags to me the most about their speed?
Me.
You're third in bragging about your speed.
Who's second?
Kenna
Okay.
talks about how fast she is
right.
when she's her superhero persona. Aiden,
Okay.
she's super fast. And then number one, because she's also made you watch how fast she is.
That is true.
Choco Chica.
That is
Love
true.
telling me how fast she is, and then run around for Dave so she can wow it with her speed.
She challenged me to a race, and I will say that she beat me, but she's a kid, so I let her win. I mean, I wasn't like really racing.
Destroy those dreams. Just win.
Yeah.
Like now you've got a goal. Now you
Oh yeah.
you just completely just outrun her by a mile.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to break you down here. Now you've got a goal. When you can beat me, then we can start talking about how fast you are.
You might have me in the short game.
Or when she can beat me, I'm the Glass Joe of running fast. You gotta beat me first.
That's it. That's all the quiz. Thank you, Prime Inquisitor Ross Rachel Green.
Yeah. Yes, thank
we
you, sir.
appreciate it, especially as busy as your work week has been.
Yes, much
Trust me, I
appreciated.
understand. That's been 2020. It's been the whole year for me so far.
Thanks for coming on, Ian.
Don't have to thank me.
It's
I'm
good to have you
thrilled to
back.
be here. Thanks for having me.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it has. I don't think you've been on since our Patreon episode where we talked about Star Wars, kinda, but mainly we got drunk.
Mostly we got drunk.
Super drunk.
Really drunk.
Yeah. And then we talked about local restaurants, I think, for 30 minutes.
I thought about you guys. I was at Pizza by the Pound Saturday. I don't know about you guys. I should take a picture to put up on so people could see it.
To see the building?
To see the building.
Yeah.
Like how it's probably a miracle that it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after we listened, Melissa and I went to Michael's. She'd never been to Michael's before.
Oh, yeah.
so-
How'd you like it?
She thought it was better than Italian Village.
Yep. Agreed.
She's like, it's more expensive, and they were kind of weird. Like they close at 9, and at like 8:40, they all just kind of came out there and stood and watched us until we just
fun.
like,
Yeah,
left.
that
That was shitty.
My advice is to get that shit to go.
Yeah.
Don't hang out in there. You know that used to be like it was a Burger Queen.
Burger Queen.
Yeah, you ever heard of Burger Queen?
I've heard of Burger Chef. My dad loves talking about
It
Burger
was
Chef.
also a Burger Chef.
It was also
It was both.
a restaurant called Vittles.
Oh my god!
I remember
it was
Vittles.
Vittles.
I remember
Right.
Vittles.
Holy shit! I forgot all about
I thought that was just a sign. I didn't think it was actually open.
Yeah. Michael's is not a place to sit down and eat unless it's like really busy and they're too busy to watch you. But they will. They'll just stare at you because they want you to leave. They don't want to work late.
I do think like not to like because look, if you're enjoying this chat, listeners,
You should go
subscribe to Patreon
for a
and
buck.
listen to that
Yeah,
episode.
you want an hour, 2
Right.
hours of this?
But
Patreon.
But my closing statement is
It's called It Is What It Is.
right. That is the name of the episode. My closing statement is I do think that they are much friendlier at Italian Village.
Agreed.
And also their sandwiches are pretty good. Italian there is good.
And of course, Jack had a huge explosion
Oh, at Michael's.
because we feed him through his G tube and
Pizza?
pizza. We mushed it up and put it through his G tube.
All right, here you go, baby bird.
Just spit it in.
Spit it in the tube.
Because Melissa was pushing.
Do you have smaller pepperonis?
You guys are assholes.
Stop watching us.
Why do you not feed G tube babies pureed pepperoni pizzas?
Was that a Jeopardy question or answer?
Because I remember we had like this like banana apple like baby food we were pushing through it.
Yeah.
And something like
Sir, did you buy that here?
something was clogged.
No outside
No
food.
outside food.
Get this kid a pepperoncini.
Something was clogged. So when Melissa, like, it was really hard, and then the end of it flew off all of a
no.
sudden. So we just had an explosion of like banana apple everywhere.
For an
Like,
audience.
As they were all sitting there waiting for us to leave.
Careful, you're in the splash zone.
See what you made him nervous.
Oh.
Let's see. Thanks for listening, everybody. But let's do something else real quick that just came to my memory.
Oh,
so
yes.
I'm going to go inside and get this from Matt Cowan, this batter up bat.
Oh, look at that.
All right, man. It's so soft and squishy. It doesn't
Oh.
hurt my head like that Tony Jeffcoat signed one. I'm going to put my head on this and my no-no Hogels in a random direction. Say that prayer we all love so much. Boop, boop, boop. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
109.
Hey.
This is to determine the game that we will be talking about on next week's episode. 109.
If you didn't get that, sorry.
It's all good. Look, man.
Yeah, you don't belong here if you didn't get
Captain
it, don't
America
you?
and the Avengers.
No, Captain America and the Avengers. You are wrong, but you are definitely starting with the right letter.
Okay.
109 is Clay Fighter,
Oh, yeah!
colon.
Yeah!
Oh, wait for it.
Oh, yeah.
Wait for it.
Oh, come on, baby. Give it to
Clay
me.
Fighter, colon,
Uh-huh.
Tournament Edition.
Oh, yes.
Tournament Edition.
Yes.
Which I feel like is worth pointing out was one of the games that they played and the Blockbuster World Championships won for the Super Nintendo.
Randomizer works in mysterious ways.
Sure as fuck does. So my next question to you is, do we cover all of the Clay Fighter games for the Super Nintendo on
Yes.
that episode?
Yes.
Or are they different enough? Because I've only played one of them.
Well, let's play all of them and see.
Okay.
Make our judgment call.
I only ever played the first one, I think.
I think that's the only one that I played too. And this is a game that everybody shits on. I'll get I'll save, put a pin in that for next week.
Josh Nance and I love this game.
You want to try to get Josh on?
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. I'll see him tomorrow. I'll ask him.
Taffy. Can't wait to play as Taffy again. David, he's so good. Taffy.
Oh my god. Okay, yes. It's gonna be a great episode. You guys are gonna love it. I can tell. Oh,
Thanks for saying, everybody.
Taffy.
No, man. Such a fucking bitch to find. He's like a fucking
Save it for next week. I can't wait.
Gumby. but he's made of taffy.
Oh my god.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Find the next episode. Clay Fighter Tournament Edition is going to be great. Hey, do you want to support us? We have a little meme page that we also put our episodes out on. That's TADPOG. Come on, join that, please.
On Facebook.
If you want to delve deeper. Into like the dark memes and a more tight knit dark Tadpog community.
Yeah. I bet you can't go deeper.
You can go even deeper, but once you go deeper, it's for good boys. That's the Discord.
Yeah.
So the Discord, we have all sorts of channels, including one for the Piggy Palace. The Piggy Palace episode, episode will release on Wednesday. Piggy Palace finale included on Monday,
Which is a Patreon thing.
Yep, Patreon exclusive Call of Cthulhu game.
You ran a fantastic game. I really enjoyed it. I'm sad that it's over. I know that I've told you this before, but it is like I've enjoyed every game that you've run, but like the Piggy Palace game was one of those games that the session would finish and then I would think about the game until the next session. Like it was one of those, which is a sign of like that's a hallmark of like a really good game.
Yeah, I heartily endorse this event and/or product.
Thank you.
It's very good.
So in about 3 weeks, when we get back from prom, then I think we're going to do a wrap-up episode with everybody, and I want to take questions that the listeners have. So there is the Piggy Palace Questions Discord that you can just ask your questions on. If you're not on Discord, you can message the us on Tadpog. That's fine. I'll take those questions there. Or Instagram, Tadpog_podcast on Instagram.
Also, get on Discord.
Although Discord is the best way.
I mean, come on, get on Discord.
I keep forgetting to do that. I need to get on there.
It's just type this into a browser, bit.ly/Tadpog Discord. And they're like, we've got a SNES club where we play we nominate SNES games and vote on them, and then the one that's voted we play for that month. So if you're like a content creator and you can share what you've created based on surrounding that game, you can do that there. We're in the voting process right now, and so now is a good time to get in and do that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We're also on Twitter, Tadpog_podcast on Twitter.
It's cucumbersome, we realize.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
If you have a game you want us to get to eventually after the next 10 years where we're doing Super Nintendo games, go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. You can put a game in there. And whatever you put in there, we promise, we will get to that eventually.
God damn, we're playing all the hits tonight. Fuck yeah. This is like a reunion tour.
It really is.
In that vein, I want to thank Doc. And I want to thank Usurper Grimm for recently leaving us 5-star reviews. It is nice. If you listen to us regularly and you're like, I like these guys, but I don't like them enough to give them $1 a month, or you're like, I like these guys, but I don't know, fuck them. You can still help the show by leaving a 5-star review on iTunes. Yeah, that's a big help.
I think Podcaster will be pivoting towards Spotify, so find us on Spotify. Follow us there.
Yep.
I don't know if they have a review system on Spotify or not. Probably not.
I don't think they have a review system, but there is a follow system. So yeah, follow us on Spotify.
Give us follow on Spotify. And then we also have our Patreon.
We do. Patreon.com/Tadpog.
Let me pull that up. It's one of my new things.
Yeah, I've given you that duty because I am so afraid that I'm going to miss somebody, and I'd rather that way be your fault.
It's okay. I don't care.
No, I think that people are more forgiving of you. So I think if you miss somebody, they'll be like, it's cool.
Tyler's got a bunch of kids. He can fuck him. It's fine. We don't expect much from him anyway. So I want to give, let's see, I thank Brian Betts last episode. So I believe today we have even more platinum member Brett Miller.
Hell yeah.
Up in that Patreon. Thank you so very much. We got some executive producers, I believe, as well.
We do. How about we save that for the very, very last?
Very, very last.
Very, very super last. Because what I need to do is see if platinum member Brett, I need to see if the executive producer order has changed.
Oh, okay. Ian, what's our theme song?
It's Moves by Sycamore Drive.
Where can a link to that track be found?
In the link, there's a link to it
yeah.
in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Perfect. So how do you guys want to close this out?
Very slowly. How about this,
Very
Platinum member Brett? I'm going to get you on the next episode. How about that? Because I can't load Patreon right now.
All right, so we'll close it out like your favorite sloth.
Or favorite taffy.
Your favorite. Your favorite taffy.
Taffy's slow, right?
Taffy.
I love how you say taffy.
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 Yeah, I want to say even he says his own name like that when you choose him. Like
Taffy.
the snowman
Yeah.
Taffy.
All right.
Taffy.
He's from Brooklyn or something.
So until next time. Tropical. Capricorn. Come up here. I'm up here. Taffy's up here.
This show is executive produced by Grim 1383, aka Usurper Grim, God Emperor Alex Pena, Cousin David Galino, Lord Mulaney Dennis, Platinum member Brett Miller, the Eightfold Daniel Abernathy, executive producer Dig Dougie, and Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link. Yeah. Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
But the Cocker Spaniels, I hated Cocker Spaniels when they were popular, like the mid '90s, you know. Early
Yeah.
90s.
I had one.
That was like the dog, right? But they
Yeah.
always like, I don't know. I got almost punched in the eye by a snout of a Cocker Spaniel, and I fucking hated him ever since. And I thought this dog was a Dachshund, right? And then I'm looking at its ears. I'm like, no, it's not a fucking Dachshund.
Yeah, that's
It's
some
a lot of
Cocker Spaniel ears.
And of course, what he wants to do, he wants to get right up in your face and like lick you and like.
My
So-
ex-girlfriend had a Cocker Spaniel, and I fucking love that dog.
Yeah.
Because, like, she had a Winnie the Pooh toy, and she humped it constantly.
The girl dog?
Yeah, it was
Nice.
great, man. I remember
She's got to get that, honey.
Yeah, buddy.
I remember sitting there watching, like, Final Destination or something on her parents' TV, and then the dog just humping Pooh across the living room. And it's like, this is more interesting
Yeah,
than this movie.
stupid movie.
So I was cheering her on. Get it. Get it.
Like, and I stayed with that
from-
girlfriend because of that
Oh,
dog.
look, she's sniffing it. Oh, she's licking it. Yeah. Oh, she's doing it again.